Welcome back, viewers. I'm RxOliver. This is the gang, and we're back for part 3 of Fear Itself, Invasive Procedures. I am with Lee, Martin, Chris, and Phil. And we're probably not going to finish it tonight, eh, Phil? We're going to finish it tonight, probably not. But yeah, this is part 3. We'll see what happens. Phil, you want to give us a nice recap? I'm sure you want to.
Radio then. So a month ago, or rather, last night in the game. Yeah, last night. Last night, Herman and Roberta were taken from their beds on Ward 3 by two things that looked to have once been women, reeking of antiseptic. Their skin was like more akin to a shriveled walnut, knotted with brutal stitching and scar tissue of countless surgical procedures. Each wore a filthy, tattered, vintage nurse's uniform, reminiscent of those from the First World War. Ed and Wendy could only look on, paralyzed in their beds. Taken to a decrepit and filthy operating theatre on the 3rd floor, Herman and Roberta were subjected to horrific surgical procedures by a surgeon wearing a bird-like medieval plague doctor's mask. Meanwhile, Ed and Wendy, finally able to move, began searching the hospital for their two fellow patients. But they quickly found themselves lost in a nightmare version of the hospital where paint peeled from bloody walls like old scabs. The next morning, all four awoke in their beds, their memory of the previous night a little hazy, but all too real. Herman and Roberta are both feeling the after effects of their ordeal. Should we let's move off that let's move off.
The jangly eye.
Yeah, it's a bit noisy, that, isn't it?
Well, it's good.
So yeah, the next morning, everyone woke in their beds, their memory of the previous night hazy, but all seeming all too real nonetheless. Herman and Roberta are both feeling the after effects of their ordeal. Both discover, I've got a little show me, point to where they touched you diagram. So both discover the faint white trace of seemingly old scars above their abdomen, one on the left side, one on the right. Herman also has a scar upon his forehead and awoke with a cripplingly painful headache. Roberta, meanwhile, to her horror, discovered her right eye had been replaced with a prosthetic glass eye. But according to their medical records, all these were the result of previous medical procedures from several years ago. Roberta and Herman spent most of the next morning resting and recovering from the night's ordeal. Meanwhile, Wendy was inquiring after Dr. Haverley, who she is a doctor who's assigned to her case. The nurse, one of the ward nurses, tries to placate her to some degree, reminding her that Dr. Haverley will be attending tomorrow on the 29th. Meanwhile, Edward decided he was going to pay a visit to the children's ward, which was totally legitimate and not in the least bit suspicious.
Not creepy. Not creepy.
Not creepy. Didn't involve any jewelry.
Nope.
Where he learned that many of the children are suffering from nightmares of scary nurses with sharp fingernails. One little girl in particular, called Beth, told Ed how one night she had decided she was going to try and run away, but everywhere she turned, where once there were doors, there were none, except for the main entrance door of the hospital. And she tells him how she recalls it was locked with a big, heavy chain. So it's around the point that the 4 patients began to question their perception of reality and their perception of time itself, wondering if just days or actual months, maybe years, has actually passed. Later in the day, Herman also began to experience some visual distortions or hallucinations, seeing fuzzy auras of different colours around people. But there was something else as well, too. Something that he saw within the stomach of Ed. A tangle of flesh forming in what looked like a monstrous fetus. That's the first time Ed's heard that, I believe.
Yep, it is.
So later that day, Roberta and Ed managed to they went to see Dr. Drake. He wasn't around, but they managed to get into his office, where they discovered Dr. Drake's interest in the history of medical and surgical procedures. So, like, obscure medical surgical procedures that he's got a fascination with. They also found an old photograph of a strange heart-shaped lock on a heavy chain affixed to the inside of the front door of the hospital, which reminded Ed of what the little girl Beth had told him earlier that day. Meanwhile, Herman and Wendy headed up to the 3rd floor, where they discovered possible signs that the apparently disused operating theatres up on the 3rd floor had recently been in use. Herman also experienced more disturbing visual hallucinations, and Wendy filches a set of keys from one of the nurses, amongst which is a set of keys that gives access to the closed-off sections of the hospital, and that is where we left it.
Nice.
Yeah, me and Wendy upstairs, everything goes weird, blackout, and Wendy steals some nurse's keys.
Sure. So who wants to go? Who wants to go first? Then where should we pick up?
Am I still passed
I'll
out?
let you go. Passed out? Did you pass out?
I'm pretty sure I blacked out. Yeah, I've got that written in my notes that I blacked out. Everything. I think I remember at the end of the session, something weird was happening. I was seeing mad hallucinations.
Oh,
and you were like,
yes.
It's all too
Yeah,
much,
you were seeing
and
like that kaleidoscope sort of human centipede.
That's
type,
right. I was seeing like. Yeah, so when you cut like the little snowman guys out, when you fold paper up and you cut the little
like
guy out,
and
I was seeing Wendy's got a concertina like hallucination
like
thing, and
infinite versions going
right,
going off and but in like 2 directions.
and then I passed out, I think.
Yeah, and then you passed out. But only briefly. I think it was just a shock.
Okay, so if I wake
Just
up,
the shock.
am I still seeing like that though?
So I will get. So we'll say that perhaps maybe Wendy's like you wake up to Wendy.
Yeah, obviously, like tapping his
Slapping.
face and all that.
Yeah, giving you a little gentle slap around the face. But when you open your eyes, there's kind of for a moment there's this weird sort of coloured fuzzy halo like outline around her. But then it fades, and there's not this weird kaleidoscope, sort of infinite versions of her stretching off in front and behind her.
Are you all right?
Oh, Wendy, my vision went really strange. I could. It's like I could see everything 100 times. You know when you get double vision, it was like that, but 100 times, and my head was just spinning so hard. It was too much. I just couldn't take it.
Maybe you need a drink or something. Can you walk?
Yeah, let me just rest for a little minute. So I'm gonna rest, catch my breath, sit there for a minute, catch my breath, and then get up. I have to remember I'm frail. We're all frail. We can't just like get up like we're adventurers.
Yeah.
I need to sit and have a minute here. I passed out because it was too much. What colour was Wendy's aura when I saw her aura before I came back? What colour was it?
What colour was her aura? That's a very good question. That's a very good question indeed, which I shall answer very promptly when I find the thing that tells me what I'm looking for. There we go.
Is it an actual thing? You can't just make it up. It is an actual thing, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. So, actually,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Martin. I've got something to tell you.
I would have probably been worried, Bill, if that makes a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah.
They are, anxious because we've just nicked some keys.
So yeah, it's kind of when you briefly see this this aura of light around it, it kind of shimmers between a sort of pale grey and with flecks of silver running through it. It all kind of all
Flecks of
shifts and
silver.
fluctuates.
Okay.
Every so often, there's tinges of red that flare through it.
And do I have any kind of intuition, because I've not discussed this with anybody, do I have any inner monologue, any inner thought about what these colours mean at all?
At the moment, no.
No. Okay.
No, but other than what I've said, so you feel it's almost as if you can. This sense of empathy.
And when I could see my own aura, could I see my own aura?
No, you cannot see
Not
your
my
own.
own, just other people's, so it's an empathetic thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're not well, but we're going to have to move. It's not going to be long before that nurse finds her keys gone.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go. Let's go. I'll get up. Are we gonna go search that east wing then, see what's going on in there?
I think so. I'll open the door. You keep an eye out.
Yeah, okay.
And obviously, not doing it while anybody's remotely around.
That's
Yeah,
what-
I mean, it's pretty quiet in this kind of lobby area up on the third
That's
floor.
where we are, isn't it? We are right next to that bit.
Yeah, so there's you're on this central area, just to the north of you, for argument's sake, is the lift that serves the 3 floors, and then this lobby area, this kind of lobby area, is surrounded by 4 disused operating theatres. To the west of you is Ward 4, which is the psychiatric ward, and to the east of you is what once was Ward 5 and 6. But yeah, the key. I think you had tried a key because you were asked if the keys work. But yeah, so you have got the door unlocked.
I think that's where we left it when we found out that the key works for that door.
Yeah.
Slip through then.
Okay.
Obviously, wait on him and make sure he's coming.
Oh yeah, I'm coming.
Okay. So yeah, you unlock the door. What you're doing? You're just slipping through and closing it behind you.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're not gonna lock it. Are we gonna lock it behind us or just no? Just leave it unlocked, yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, leave it unlocked, just in case.
Yeah. I'll put the key in my bra, and then I know it's safe.
So are you taking that key from the rest? You've took. You lifted the entire bunch of keys. So are you removing the keys from that?
Key.
Yeah.
No, take that key, and leave the rest like discarded in the hallway, like it fell out of a pocket or whatever.
Okay. Cool. Righty. So beyond,
just in case she comes back, she'll think that it's dropped, and hopefully she'll not check it.
So beyond these doors, they are dark, dank corridors, the walls covered in peeling paint. You can see is the main there's a main hallway, so it's like an old. It's the layout is slightly different to where Ward 2 and 3 is on the second floor. There's just a main central corridor that runs down between with Ward 5 and 6 to the left and right side. And down at the far end, you can just probably make out the old faded signs for the toilets and the staircase.
I'll ask and I said, does this look at all familiar?
Does it, Phil?
Maybe it seems in a similar state of disrepair, but it's not got that same, the
So it's not where me and Roberta were before.
No. I mean, that was an operating theatre anyway. So you'd seen signs that this operating theatre had been somebody had been in there, but of course the doors were locked.
But when we were in an operating theatre, it wasn't a normal operating theatre, was it?
Well, it wasn't. It was dated, and it looked all like grim.
That's why I'm wondering if it was in this part
dilapidated.
of the building.
This wing of the hospital, it looks to be in the same kind of state of repair or disrepair in this case.
Mm-hmm. That's why I kind of had a thought.
But at the
that
same
maybe
time,
we
it's
were
not
actually
got
in here
it's
before.
not got this same. It's not got this quite the same feel to it.
Okay. So head to the left hand side. So that's Ward 5, is it?
Yeah.
And start looking through things, see if there's any kind of clue. Obviously, looking around, see if there's any evidence of people being here, of it being in use, anything like that.
Okay. So going into wards, the windows, there's like blinds have been drawn, but they're lifting. The sunlight comes through and moving the blinds aside. You can see through the windows out to the outside. The windows are thick with dirt and grime, though, and you can see and hear this the blizzard that is swarming around the hospital. You can't see. In fact, it's become. The snowfall is that thick that you can't even see the ground anymore. There's just this swirling white mass.
I kind of sigh at the sight of it. Well, obviously, smear the window a bit to look out, feel it and look out. Kind of like, almost like in despair. We're not leaving here anytime soon.
It does perhaps raise some concerns in your mind that how is Dr. Haverley going to get here?
That's why I sighed
tomorrow?
with despair.
Yeah. Yeah. But aside from that, the wards, both this Ward 5 and Ward 6, are pretty empty. Other than just just stacks of rusting bed frames.
No evidence of like footprints in the dust or anything like that.
No.
Was the door dusty when we opened it? Like the lock, was it like the first time it had been opened in a while?
No, the locks are quite new.
The locks were new.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's supposedly been some Some restoration work either started to be carried out or due to be scheduled to be carried out, despite the fact that the hospital is due to be closed
Yeah, didn't we find
in
receipts
the next
for that?
6 months. Yeah, it was in the administration,
So-
in the records office.
Maybe, Wendy, we should have a look and see for any evidence of that. Has there been any restoration work? Can we see any signs of that?
Not on this. No, not in either of these wards. No.
Okay.
Like I say, going down, this floor is almost completely empty. The only things you can see in here, like I said, these stacks of rusted bed frames, and you all the way down to the far end of the corridor where it branches off to the left and right, going to the toilets to your left, and to the main staircase, one of the main staircases to your right.
I think we should
We'll be
still
thorough.
yeah, I was going to say
Be
we should have
thorough
a
now,
thorough,
kind of gesture to toilets.
have a thorough search all the way down for any kind of items or anything that's out of place, or any signs of someone being in here as well, and go all the way down
So
to the
this doesn't
toilets.
make any sense. From what you described and what I saw, there should be something here. There's not. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah. And like, we went
Check
through
the toilets.
we went through the same hallway before where you had seen the weird shit on the walls, but then we didn't see it. It's like we were in one place, but we're not in one place.
Hey, are your scars still recent?
So no, so the scars looks old, doesn't it? The scar looks and feels old, doesn't it, Phil?
Yeah, it does.
But I remember it being
see
last night. I remember
That's weird.
it happening to me last night. It dug into my head last night. And same with Roberta. She remembered getting her eye stabbed out last night. But apparently she's had a glass eye for years. I don't remember Roberta having a glass eye.
I don't think she did. There is something weird happening.
But we've not known her for long, have we? She's only been in here a few
No,
days.
you've only known a few days.
But-
In fact, Wendy, you I forget which is it Wendy or is it either Wendy or Roberta just turned up the other yesterday.
Me,
Oh
I
no,
think.
that was Wendy. Yeah, that was Wendy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter though how long Roberta's been here, because a glass eye is not something you miss. It's something you spot right away. If somebody's got a glass eye, you see it straight away. It's not something that takes you a few days to notice. You do notice it straight away.
Yeah.
So like I said, by this time you've methodically gone down the hallway, checking the walls. There's
Nothing there.
nothing to see, and then you
No.
hear a sound from that makes you stop.
Okay.
The sound of somebody rattling, trying the door at the entrance to the ward.
At this end, where we left it unlocked.
Yeah, back down here.
Hide, Wendy.
Yeah, definitely.
Hide. Is there a skill for that, or can we just do it?
There is a skill for that. It is. Where is it? It is infiltration.
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 I've got 3 points. What's the script here? You can spend these to get a better chance at a success.
Yeah,
can't
so
you?
you can spend points you can spend points to add one. Yeah, add each point spent adds one onto the roll.
Do you have to
Excuse
do
me.
it before you roll?
You do have to do it before you roll. Yeah.
So I don't want to get caught here, so I'm adding 2, and then do you... And then you
So
roll this here.
standard difficulty class. Standard difficulty for a check is 3.
I'm going to add plus... No, I'm just going to add +1.
Yeah, me too.
Spend. Oh, you do this. Right, okay. Point spend 1. Oh, it didn't roll it. Oh, how do you roll it?
Oh.
Jeez, oh.
Have you got the let's have a look. What did you do? Are you on the abilities tab?
Yeah, on the abilities, you just plus it and
Then it brings up this
plus
general
it.
ability.
And
Or do I press this button? Oh, here we go.
There we
What?
go. So you would, so
I
you
didn't-
you've
I-
spent 1 point, so that would have been a 3.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So so where are you hiding?
We're just behind whatever I can find. I
I
rolled a
think probably
success,
the
you tell me.
toilets.
So
Aye.
you're gonna hide go for the toilets?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you make a dash down round the corner and head towards the toilets, and you can. From your hiding place at first, you can't hear anything, and then in the distance, you can hear getting slowly closer and louder. No, not not
Yeah.
loud, but loud. You know, as they're getting closer, you can hear these like heavy, sort of plodding, methodical footsteps, and then you hear the door to the toilets open. Nobody here. There's somebody here somewhere. And then you hear the toilet door bang shut again. And the footsteps sort of moving away. And what is Ed and Roberta doing? So you've just left the doctor's office.
And Roberta's got a shitload of fucking drugs, from what I remember. So.
Oh yeah, she pilfered a load of drugs.
Yeah.
She's happy. Yeah. So you slip out of Dr. Drake's office before the receptionist returns to a desk.
I guess I'm just gonna, look at Roberta and be like, guess you did what you said you'd do, so, don't use it all at once.
In fact, I think we said that the receptionist she did return because she'd gone to get some complaint forms, hadn't she? Because you were trying to file a complaint. So she does return and she helps you fill out the forms, kind of probably making sure that you're filling it out correctly, and then she collects them in and takes them off to the administration office, leaving you both alone in the reception area. And I believe Roberto had asked if there was anything you would have a nosy over the reception desk, but there's nothing there. There's a internal telephone and some papers, but nothing important, nothing that catches your eye. Well, yeah. So, like I say, you two are there alone in the reception office. To you, over to the west side is the sounds from the kitchen and canteen. To your right, to the east side, you can hear the sounds coming from the children's ward. Sounds of the children playing, protesting about taking their medicine. And you can hear the sound of the blizzard tearing around the building. Possibly you can see there's quite drafty here. You can see every so often there's like a tiny amount of snow drifting under the gap around under the main door. So what is Ed and Roberta doing?
Well, I think I found a lot of like evidence linking all the cult stuff. I can't really.
So you found lots of there was so Dr. Drake had a strange collection of not occult books, but I seem to have a bit of an obsession with obscure and outdated medical procedures. And he had books referencing surgical and medical procedures going all the way back to the Middle Ages. Just they were all genuine textbooks, history books.
You found live maggots as well.
And these books were arranged around this tank of maggots, medical. That looked that I believe Ed had assumed were or guessed were medical
maggots.
Which again fits in with this this interest, perhaps obsession with
I wouldn't be
with
surprised
you know
if you
what?
found
medical
leeches
practice.
as well.
I've just remembered where we were. We had a key, and we went up, and I went to see whether or not the key would work on the locked ward.
No, that was me and Wendy.
Was it?
That was
Wendy had the key.
All right.
Yeah.
We had different keys. We had different keys to get in a different place. Yeah, but we did have keys.
You had that key that that Ed found inside the the head of that doll, or inside the body of that doll, which coincidentally unlocked Dr. Drake's office.
There was a glass tank full of maggots and an old photo that fell out of a book as well. I've got that in my notes.
Yeah, there was that old photo which I believe one of you's taken. That's just a weird picture, black and white picture of the interior of the front doors of the hospital, and there's this there's that chain, that heavy chain that matches that looks strikingly similar to the description that that Beth gave to Ed about a chain with a heart-shaped lock. The chain, that none of that looking at the door as it stands now. That's not there. That chain's not there. There's no sign of a big heavy chain or a heart-shaped lock that's pictured in this photograph.
So what do we want to do from that?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure your character's keen to do the drugs, right? That's like built in. I'm presuming.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do them in the middle of the fucking reception.
Go on, yeah, slap up the wrist and do it. Be a good girl. Go on.
You're the worst enabler ever, Martin. You're supposed to try and get Roberta to not take the drugs.
I tried to, but she was a smarty pants, and I was like, the only way to get smarty pants to do anything is to give them morphine. So that's what I had to do. So
I thought you were going to say reverse psychology. No, morphine.
No, morphine works the same.
No, what I've got in my notes, Chris, is that you were just making a distraction. It was Ed that was snooping around in the doctor's room. But
oh no, shit! Roberta did all the. She's the smart one who did all the stuff.
I done everything.
I seem to remember Chris making about 5 rolls in a row, actually.
Yeah.
He was like, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? And he kept succeeding everything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an enabler to roleplay, because Chris can't roleplay without me puppet mastering him. I'm the fist inside the man. I'm the fist inside the puppet.
You wish.
So what are you guys doing?
Well, we already told. I know my
Trusting
character
Chris.
wanted to help Roberta to escape, but then you reminded me that Ed would not leave all the little disabled kids. So Ed's gonna have to like meet everyone and discuss what he's found out, and he's hoping Roberta has a heart, or maybe he'll take Roberta to see one of the kids that's got bits missing and be like, you know, make her feel guilty or something.
Yeah, because you're not just going to do a runner without us and without the kids and just fuck off.
Yeah. Well, I was going to take Roberta with me. We've got morphine. We'll have a great Christmas for like about 2 days.
Oh, morphine.
Well, I don't think that Roberta would want to leave without the kids knowing that they would be in, danger. But I don't know whether or not she'd be arsed about the other one.
Roberta doesn't give a fuck. She's a junkie. She just cares about getting high.
You don't know the full story, bro. Well, we can't really do anything from this floor. We're gonna just chill out here, and look at the receptionist for the next 30 minutes.
We could do. I mean, remember, I've robbed that massive pot of coffee so I can eat it to stay awake. But I'm pretty sure we have to go into the dream world to Freddy Krueger this shit. So that's I don't. But we could go and check with the No, we've not been upstairs right to the mental ward. None of us have been in there, right?
Ward 4.
Yeah. So there's one place we do need to go. But what time is it? Is it like?
It is.
Middle of the day, isn't it?
It is. It's about 2 o'clock. What is this combat?
I reckon, Roberta, we should go and meet up with the rest of the guys, tell them what we know, see what they know, and then if we have time, we could try and go into the mental ward, because that's the one place we've not explored.
Okay.
I quite like the idea of just busting the fuck out of here, though. I don't know these kids. They're not my kids.
Okay, so you're heading up onto the 3rd floor, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
We would head out eventually, me and Wendy, I suppose. We're not going to hide in there forever.
And we're using the lift so that we don't overexert ourselves.
Okay.
If we take morphine, does that chill us out so we can be relaxed more or something?
Why do you want to take morphine?
I want to take morphine. What are you talking about? Him? I want it.
My character's never done it, and he wants to live, and he knows the first time you do it, it's really fun. So he just wants to do it once. So,
It's really fun the second time as well, I've got to tell you.
Ed's brought like a little brown spoon with him. He's like, I saw this on a film.
Oh.
Okay, so you ride the lift, the rickety old Victorian lift, to the 3rd floor, and come out into the lobby area where there's these old locked up operating theatres. And to your right, as you're walking away from the lift, there you can see the door that leads into Ward 4.
Are we going to come out, Wendy?
So as you approaching the door to the Ward 4, the psychiatric ward, one of the other staff nurses, one that you're not familiar with, approaches. Can I help you two? What are you doing out of your ward? You know this is the psychiatric ward.
Did you say us two? Is it me or is it them? He's going to approach Zach.
But I'm pointing at you, I'm like, she's really crazy, medically crazy, according to the charts. So I've taken her back here. She's fairly autistic. She doesn't like to be challenged, so you can't say anything like no to her, or she will kill you. I'm just gonna start walking into the ward.
She's kind of She stands in the way. Look, what's your game? We've only 2 patients on the ward. I'm quite aware who and who isn't a patient here. Now, unless you've got a legitimate reason to be here, I'm gonna have to ask you to go back the way you came. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to call for one of the orderlies.
Stab her, Chris. Stab her with a key.
Can we just punch her?
We need to get out of here. We need to get out of here. Just knock her out.
We need to get out of here.
We
But I know
do.
that the nurses aren't as strong as the fucking orderlies. The orderlies are really strong. They fucking took the man that took their bollocks. So like, you know, I know. I feel like if between me and I can't remember Morgan's real name in the game.
Two
Ed.
letters. Ed.
If Roberta and Ed like fought this person, they could probably win, and then the orderlies will come in, and then we can finish our investigation.
It's not gonna last long though.
Tie her up and hide her in the disused ward.
Oh, yeah,
Do you not have anything like a weapon or anything?
I've not got a weapon. Just my hands.
Do you not have a bedpan? Like, you know, man, like, you know, a prior bedpan just in case.
We talked about us carrying random objects. No, I didn't bring a bedpan this time.
Just punch
I mean, I
it.
get the idea, but I'm like, if we do anything to it in like an hour, someone's gonna find out. Also,
We want to get out of here.
I don't know,
Russell,
we could be out of here.
Yeah,
I don't know, we
we
could be out of here.
Just smack her in the chin, Martin. It's for the good of getting out of here.
no, because Ed already knows they can walk out, but he wants to help the children, which means he has to go into this dream place. So but yeah, he does want to try and break into that wall.
Question for you, Phil. The drugs that I took, are any of them not alright?
Are any of them what, sorry?
Are any of them not alright? Like, is one of them chloroform or anesthetic?
Oh, look at anesthesia.
No, they won't be chloroform. There'd be probably, like I said, there'd probably be some like morphine. Probably morphine, I would say.
Does the nurse look like she's had, like, that she takes drugs? You know, because, like, she's had a hard life.
She perhaps looks tired and overworked.
Is she medically retired? Is she medically retired or about to be? It could be like, look at this.
Right. So, I whisper really quickly.
You've still got the voice on, by the way, Chris.
I know. I'm gonna whisper, like, you're gonna get fucking. I'll stick her with the morphine, and you crack her across the head, and she'll get knocked out. So, what are we gonna do? Go to bed?
Yeah.
Is there any way I can, like, fake, like, a seizure and try and knock her out? So if I get caught, I'll
fall over into the bitch. You should like smack her with your shaking head.
I like your first explanation where you say if she say no, she'll go mental, and she said no, so just
just go mental. Like, we did more now.
No,
Right.
take the morphine. I like Chris's thinking. Get the morphine, jab her with it, but leave it hanging out of her arm so if somebody finds her, she's just been in the drugs cabinet and gotten high.
Yeah, there'll be ampules. They'll be like, you know, bottles rather.
And we can write a little note about like, oh, I'm really sorry, I'm a drug mule, my life shit, blah blah blah, and just put the note inside a, a little uniform. Yeah, is there a role I can do to like, look like that I'm having a seizure and then accidentally,
Act the seizure.
Yeah.
a disguise? So what? I don't know what you'd want me to roll.
You can make it will be. I would guess it will be an infiltration role.
Okay.
I'm not saying what the difference.
No.
There's no acting, so it would come under infiltration.
Okay, and can
I genuinely think you all about the floor with him to have a seizure is going to be more stressful on your body than you just smacking her across the head. Try not right.
I agree,
Well,
Chris. You
I
should have just
genuinely
smacked her,
believe
like...
this.
Well, I'm an artiste, and this is what I want to do. Okay, I want to make it look.
No, I
But
like
you
it,
can help
Martin. I like
me.
it.
You can help.
Sure,
Can I
it's
get
not
like...
impersonate.
That is a impersonate is a investigative skill, is it not?
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah. Right. Infiltration.
Oh,
Then.
Come on,
infiltration.
with a four.
Okay. So just look. You're going to have to go back to your ward. Otherwise, I'm going. If you don't return to your ward, I'm going to call for an orderly. And then
even with my 4, she don't think that I'll have
and then Herman sort of launches into this dramatic seizure attempt at mimicking a seizure and collapse onto the floor. And perhaps as you do, you're suddenly racked with like this intense pain in your stomach, this sudden like cramp that causes you to double over in genuine agony.
Right.
As you like try and sort of pass off that you're having a seizure. You do genuinely like a collapse from this intense pain that just feels like something's tearing into your stomach.
Okay, I'm gonna grab my stomach and go to the nurse. Oh, my ovaries hurt. I need to go into the ward.
Oh, it's a shame that the nurse doesn't pick people up, and that's the fucking orderly's job that she's gonna call anyway.
So as you collapse onto the floor, clearly in pain, she suddenly kneels down. She she says, "Are you all right?" And she calls back. She says, "Susan, can you quick! This patient's having some kind of seizure." And the other nurse comes running out of the ward. And if you wish, Roberta, you can make an infiltration roll and see if you can maybe slip past in the confusion.
I click spend.
No, you don't have to. Unless you want. If you want to spend points, you can spend points on it to increase your chances. And then no, then you
Well, that's
so
not
you
done the
spent a
roll.
point.
He's just spent the point. It's like what I did before. You've got to press the thing at the side of the roll that says plus. It's a weird sheet.
Oh yeah, you need to click on the actual skill. The 2 dice. So we know you spent a point. Yeah. We know you spent a. There we go. Oh, you rolled a 5.
Ooh, well done.
So that would have been 6. So yes, excellent roll. So yeah, you easily, as soon as Nurse Susan, whatever she's called, rushes out, and they're both distracted by Ed, who is clearly, you can see, at first we were putting on this really poor, like overly dramatic attempt at pretending he has a seizure, but you can see is clearly in some kind of genuine pain, doubled up on the floor. But and it gives you plenty of opportunity to easily slip past them into down the corridor and towards the psychiatric ward towards Ward 4, where upon stepping into the ward, you see, like the nurse told you, there are only 2 patients here. There's only 2 beds occupied. At the far end, two beds on opposite sides of the ward, 2 male patients. One of them is being there's some kind of drip and tubes running from the drip in through his nose, and he appears to be either unconscious or asleep. Where in the bed opposite the other guy, he's kind of sat up, reading. Looks to be reading a book.
Great. Can I see what the guy's reading?
Do you see what he's reading? He is reading. He's reading a copy of War and Peace, or at least he's holding it. He's holding it. Whether he's actually reading it or not, you don't know. But yeah, he's reading a big, chunky copy of War and Peace.
And they're not restrained. Anything like that. Like this is.
No, it's not. No, it's not a cat. You know, not dating. You know, it's nobody's restrained or anything. I mean, you can see perhaps as you go down, as you walk through past the beds, you can see there are restraints on some of the unoccupied beds.
Mhm.
But the 2 patients that are here are not restrained. No.
See, well, what I'm gonna say to him, he's gonna think that I need to be in the bed beside him. So as I approach the one reading the book, did I notice any like visible scars, missing body parts, you know, everything like that?
What on the 2 guys? On the 2 patients?
Yeah, the one reading the book, because the one that is either knocked out, I don't want to make up too much noise and alert the 2 nurses that are dealing with Ed.
So no, there's neither of them have any visible, obvious like scars or missing limbs or anything like that. They look they probably look less ill than yourself. Apart from the fact that one of the patients is clearly unconscious and has got some kind of feeding tube running up his nostril, in through his nostril.
He's fucked. He's not hopeless breaker. So I'm gonna with the guy as he's reading the book, I'm gonna like hit it down to try and get his attention. Say to him that we're planning to break out. They're trying to steal our organs. I do it at night time. Have you noticed anything weird in here? Not clear about.
So kind of, it looks. So, nurse, is my wife here?
She's in reception. I think if she goes there.
Well, I can go down to reception.
Or she can.
Oh, right you are then. And he gets up. He's just got his like hospital gown on, and he puts his book down on the table and sets off walking down the ward to the exit from the ward.
But before you go, you need your shoes. So I'll help him put shoes off.
Aw.
Very kind of you,
Okay, so he's
Bella.
not. There's some slippers. There's no. If there's got any shoes, they're locked. They're locked up.
Slippers, shoes. It's not long about the word barefoot, you know what I mean? It's fascinating because he's breaking out with them.
2024, it'll be Crocs anyway.
With them disposable foam slippers. So yeah, you help him put some slippers on, and he goes shuffling off down the ward towards the lobby.
So as he's leaving, I'm gonna check his and the incapacitated guy's notes quickly.
Okay, so you've got some medical skills. So you look over his notes, and this guy in the bed is called D. David. D-E-E David. His surname is David. He is an attempted suicide. Apparently, he's swallowed a large quantity of caustic chemicals, and he is suffering from severe chemical burns to his stomach.
Is it not last name first? So it's David D. No.
I would no. So it's D. David.
Weird.
Yeah. Because the other guy there's the name for the other guy, and that's his name is Jared Links. He's definitely not Links Jared.
No.
It could be. But yeah, D. David. Yeah, but he's attempted suicide. Severe chemical burns to his stomach lining. He's being kept sedated, so yeah, he's not going to be talking to anybody anytime soon.
Is any of his medication readily available?
So there's no medication around it, but yeah, you can see he's on various painkillers and sedatives, but there's no medication around. No.
See. And then for the fellow that I've just sent, they will see if necessary, isn't there?
So yeah, you can check so according to his medical records, his name is Jared Links, and he is suffering from renal problems. But he's also severely delusional.
Sweet, that should be a good distraction. Okay, awesome. And in this room, is there anything different that would stand out than the ward that we're in? Like, is there a massive heart-shaped lock inscribed in the wall?
No, there's nothing other than it being a single. The only notable difference is that it's a single ward instead of like split into two wards. So this entire wing is just one big open ward for the psychiatric patients.
But you said it was empty apart from two guys down at one end.
Yeah, but there's only two beds taken. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although the guy who attacked Herman, he was a patient on the psychiatric ward.
But he died.
He was. But he's not here.
He's brown bread.
His records are gonna still be there, like the bed's gonna be fucking cleared and all the rest of it. So there's no point in me checking the rest of the beds, is there?
We saw his records though. We saw his records before. He was the German teacher.
But like, I mean, like, his sheet for his bed. Like, you know, they have a sheet at your bed that says like Rosset and Drink and stuff like that. It's not going to be there anymore.
So looking around, there is there's no other there's no other like clipboard with medical records on any of the other beds, but one of the beds next to where Jared's bed is, there is still some personal effects on the like cabinet on the like cabinet at the side of the bed.
Get a look through the
Okay.
elevator.
Well, I don't want to look through them right now. Instead, would I be able to like pack them into a bag or something and take that with me?
Yeah, I guess so. You could maybe like stuff them into a pillowcase or something.
Yeah, pillowcase. Pillowcase is perfect. And now I've got a weapon as well.
So there are the kind of like I said, there's on the table as if they're like being made ready to be sent off to presumably next of kin. But there's just a small pile of clothes, a pair of shoes, a wallet, and a musty old looking book.
Oh, well, I'm definitely taking the wallet in the book. I don't know about the clothes, unless they look like Buffett head.
Say again?
Unless they look like Buffett head.
No, you have to say that again. Can't do it.
Take the voice off for
I
a sec.
said, is the voice on?
Aye.
I didn't know the voice is on.
It's been on constantly.
I didn't know the voice was on.
It's been on the whole time.
I didn't know. Unless the clothes look like they'll fit Ed.
No, they wouldn't fit Ed. Ed's quite a big, heavy set guy.
So I'm just gonna take the wallet and the musty book because I doubt the shoes, unless I'll quickly tap the heels off the floor to see if a blade comes out the end of the shoe.
No, there's no hidden blades in the shoes. No. Can you give me another infiltration check? As you can hear, there's like some commotion at over by the exit to the ward as Jared attempts to leave the ward, saying that you can hear him say, "Oh, my wife is in the reception." Oh, that is a fail.
Sorry.
So you've picked up this book and this wallet, and you can, like I say, you can hear this commotion going off by the entrance to the ward, and one of the nurses is leading Jared back in, and he's but that nurse over there, she said my wife is down the ward. She says, Jared, your wife isn't here. She won't. Let's just get you back into your bed. As she leads him down through the ward, along the ward. She says, "What are you doing in here?"
What are you doing in here?
I said, "Orderly, get in here. There's patients. Unauthorized patients on the ward. I told you what would happen. I told you to return to your own ward."
This is my ward. I am the nurse now.
You see this orderly, this big guy come in, and he comes marching out. He says, "Now, miss, let's get you back down onto the second floor where you belong." Are you gonna go along with her?
So, can you describe the orderly a little bit more for me?
Kind of what?
Describe the orderly just a little bit more.
So it's quite a big-ish bloke. He's maybe about 6 feet tall. He's a little bit overweight, slightly balding. See like a few tattoos, like really poor, like tattoos, like they're quite old, faded blue tattoos on his neck.
They're best when they go grey, man. That's when they look best. When they're 20 years
And
old.
he's stood there. He says, "Come along, miss. Don't want any trouble now."
Here's my attempt at flower.
What, sorry?
Seeing flowery.
Flattery. Okay.
Yeah. So, seeing his rugged demeanor with his wonderful tattoos, I say to him, a big guy like you with such lovely tattoos, I'd go anywhere.
Okay.
Bill, just so you know, for context and the audience, he's basically flirting with Oliver in some weird, twisted roleplay thing.
Okay, so flattery is an investigation skill, so you can't use that as a skill check. It would be to get information from them. So I would say instead, let's see.
I'm basically trying to charm him so that when I am leaving, he is not rough with me and maybe just lets me get on my way.
Give me a shrink check.
Shrink.
Shrink. Okay. Right. So it says, right. Come on, then, miss. I know you're not going to be causing me any trouble, and it does take your arm, take you by the elbow and leads you out, but it doesn't, not in an aggressive way. And he leads you back out of the ward, and back downstairs towards Ward 3. Says, I'm afraid I will have to be reporting this to Dr. Drake. So let's not have a repeat of this incident, Miss Carroll. And so he escorts you back onto Ward 3, where you can see Ed has been tucked up back into his bed, and one of the nurses is administering some morphine.
You lucky
Got his
bastard.
wish.
You lucky bastard. I want some.
You can give me one more roll, though, Roberta. You can give me an infiltration roll to see if you can get slip that book out of the ward with you.
So with that before we move on, because I wanted to be flattery with the orderly, it says here to persuade someone to go out of their way to assist you. So, like,
For stability.
He's appealing.
I'm kind of just being, like, I want the book. I also don't want to get in trouble, and I'm,
I've got a cute voice.
just trying to just be really cute. And,
You're trying to be cute.
Are you
I will.
I've not got any money. I'll do anything, officer, to not get.
If you spend, I'll tell you what.
Exactly.
If you spend your 1 point of flattery, I will let you. Talk him round into. You can.
Okay.
Talk him round into ignoring the book.
Yeah.
Letting you walk out with the book.
I've spent it.
Very good. So he pays you.
And I got the law as well.
What?
Take the voice off.
I don't want the law because I think there's a name for it. I just thought I want the wallet,
The wallet's not a problem. You could easily slip that past him. But yeah.
Cheat that.
Right. So yeah. So you both end up back in Ward 3. Ed, slightly sedated. Are you and Roberta? You sat on your bed? Perhaps being berated by the ward nurses for wandering off, and they're clearly going to keep a closer eye on the pair of you. And there is
I'm gonna be like, Roberta's okay now. I'm morphed up. I'm like, nah, she's a good girl. Leave her alone. She's a laugh. She's cool. Leave her alone.
Ed loves everybody now.
Nah, I'm happy.
I wouldn't be able to make my way around this hospital if you hadn't took one of my eyes.
You remember?
not that nonsense again. Look, Roberta. Let's get you back into your bed. We'll get your medication. Get you settled in. It should be. It's not be long before. It'll not be long before it's the evening meal. So let's just get you settled down, shall we?
And as she says that, I purposefully sneeze too hard and my eyeball falls out and rolls across the floor. Radio. So meanwhile, back up on the third floor, you can, like I say, you can hear these footsteps receding away from the toilets where you're hiding.
So, we're gonna actually pause the game there, Phil. Lee has requested we take a break.
Oh, okay.
Just 2 minutes.
Well,
yeah, no problem.
Actually, we've been here for over an hour now, so I don't mind if we just take our half-time break early. Should we just take our official break now, and then come back? And we're back for part 2. Take it away, Phil.
Okay. So, we're back on the third floor in in the disused toilets.
Oh yeah, no, it's still being Wendy in the toilet, isn't it? On the third floor.
Yeah,
that's right.
And like I say, you can the sound of these footsteps. You can hear the sound of these footsteps receding away from you.
Wait a few minutes until they do go away.
Quiet for a little bit until we're fairly certain them footsteps have gone away.
And then sneak out.
Yeah. Doesn't say anything yet, just kind of like sneak to the door and open the door.
Listen at the door for a minute before we open it.
Okay. Can you both make a sensed trouble roll?
Oh, probably not. Watch, I'll try.
Yeah.
Sense trouble.
Oh wow. Wendy certainly can.
I think it might be worth spending a point here.
Waste.
What's it? Right, I'm not going to spend one then. Thanks for that.
Ooh, 7.
Oh, and a 5. Yeah. So okay. So you wait until the sound of this person has receded away, and before sneaking back out the toilets. And as you peering round the corridor that runs back down through between the wards towards the exit, or the way that you came in at least, you hear the sound. You hear the sound of somebody moving around, and after watching for a moment, into walking out and stomping out into the corridor, is the porter, muttering to himself.
So he's definitely.
I'm sure there's somebody in here. I'm going to find him. Wait till I get my hands on him. People wandering around this restricted area.
Wait till he's away past then.
So he's basically moving like between you and the way that you came in.
Right, so not say anything, but kind of like through sign language, motion to stairwell, and try and obviously sneak to that as quick as we can.
Okay, so it's quite a way away. So if you time it, waiting for the right moment, you can easily slip past and onto the stairwell that leads down to the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Can you give me an infiltration roll, though?
Oh, probably not. Are you spending points,
Sooner
Lee?
or later, gonna fail.
Are you spending points? We're definitely in the second half of the one shot, I think.
Well, that's a pass from Wendy. Well, what a waste of another point.
Alright.
Well, potentially. I mean,
It's too
another
important not to.
pass. Oh,
Too
wow.
important not to.
Well, I mean, you don't know what the difficulty level is, but I will tell you that it was only a 3, so you have waste point.
Yeah, it seemed that way. But
So,
it's to assure a good roll, because if you
Yeah.
don't spend the point, that's when the bad roll comes.
that's when you roll the one, aye. Guaranteed.
So you make your way down this staircase. The staircase is choked with piled up furniture, old, empty, rusting filing cabinets, and it looks like everything, things that have been moved out of the rooms has basically been like dragged onto the and dragged onto this stairwell.
Mhm.
So the stairs. Obviously, the stairs do go down. Excuse me. To the first floor, but they're blocked off.
There's no way
So the
getting around stuff.
door leading that gives access to the next flight of stairs that go down to the ground floor is not just locked; it's completely sealed off.
Ah, okay. So it's locked but covered in stuff as
In
well.
what way though? Is it like bricked up? Is it?
It is so it's like barricaded off. It's like the door's closed and it's just it's nailed shut.
Okay. But can we get to floor 2, as in the first floor in American?
So you are on floor 2. Let's go back to the floor plan, shall we?
Oh, don't get started
Go
on the
back,
difference
yeah.
between the American and the British, Lee, because I always forget which one's
know.
which.
I know.
We don't
Yeah,
have
we-
a
we
ground
go- we
floor.
go in-
So
Are
where
we-
our
are-
icons are now, we are the next floor down from where we were. So can we get onto that ward?
Well, let me
Yes.
just-
Or is it the stairwell down to the ground that's blocked?
Can I just straighten
It's,
this out
it's the,
on
so
record?
you're down. You've come down the stairwell from the
Yep.
third floor, which is here,
Yep.
and you're just exiting the stairwell that brings you out onto
Yes.
the second floor into another empty ward.
Perfect. Okay.
Is it America that doesn't say ground floor?
Okay.
We say ground floor, don't we?
Yeah.
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 The Americans don't. Okay, that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Check.
So again, it's the ward is almost completely empty. There's just a few, maybe half a dozen rusted metal bed frames stacked in one corner. The toilets on this floor look to have been dismantled. It's kind of just almost completely not all the walls have been knocked through, and the plumbing's been taken out and all sort of sealed off.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to assume that the filing cabinets are empty in the stairwell with all furniture
They
and
are.
stuff like that.
Yeah. So towards the corridor leading off the ward, you can see there are doors leading off to a series of storerooms, as well as the library and the hospital archives, the old hospital archives.
So
Which
archives,
is-
maybe some evidence. We might see like a floor plans of how it used to be. Maybe there's parts of this. At least we can see kind of like what's further down, or how it used to look.
Has Roberta told us about what she found with the experimental books and stuff?
We've not seen it yet, have we?
Yeah, we've not. Okay. Because players putting 2 and 2 together, but character hasn't. Just making sure, establishing the difference. Yeah, we should we could
wonderful.
maybe check that
We've
out.
got words. Yeah.
Words.
Do you, so we haven't got much time. Do you want to? Which do you want to search? Storerooms or
The
archives?
archive. For
You
something
want
like
to
a
search
floor
the
plan.
archives?
Yeah, I want to know if there was some experimental theatre that wasn't here before that, or something like that. I've got the gears are winning now. I'm thinking.
Okay. I'm gonna, before we go into the rooms, then I'm gonna use the key on this level's exit
Uh-huh.
to unlock it, and
Okay,
say just in case the orderly comes back, and then obviously put it back in my bra.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna suggest we split off. We said 2 minutes, see what we can find, and then come back here and get the hell out.
Okay, so you breathe a sigh of relief as the key does indeed unlock the door
I
to
do.
this ward as well,
Yeah.
giving you a way out.
Excellent. So
Yes.
going into the storeroom, is this a storeroom in use? Is it an old storeroom?
So there, yeah, it looks to be a series of old storerooms. Again, all of this, it's all of this is like appears to have been, abandoned. It's not in use.
Is there any records in the archives?
So Herman's going into the archives,
Yeah.
and Wendy's going into the storerooms. Is she?
Correct. That's right.
Okay. So walking through into the area with the storerooms, it's kind of a long corridor with a series of storerooms, different smaller rooms like leading off. There's maybe about 6 in total. Herman, you head through the doorway to your left, and again there's another hall leads into another hallway. Down the far end is the library. Almost immediately in front of you is the archives. The door to which is missing.
There's no door. Okay.
No.
Don't have to worry about borrowing the key for a second then.
So peering inside, most of the contents of the room looks to have been removed, but it is still crammed with quite a lot of old rusting filing cabinets. But unlike the ones on the stairs, these appear to be still contain some records, some paperwork.
So I'm looking for,
which
in
I
particular,
believe.
because we're supposed to tell you what we're looking for exactly when we make an investigation in this game, don't we? We've got to tell you what we're looking for. I'm looking for a floor plan, an old floor plan in particular. Ooh, we're smart.
That's kind of what state the room is in. They like the old place is like falling apart. There's signs of like damp throughout. The water ceilings coming down in places. There are no windows in here either. So you're going to set about looking through, and you'll look at. So what skill are you using? What investigating skill are you using?
Which one's it? Is that the academic or everything on the left hand
academic.
side?
It's anything that's not listed under general.
Anything on the left hand side.
Yeah.
Research.
Sorry, research.
I've got 0 points left.
Yeah, don't forget you can click on skills and it will give you a description of.
You know how to find factual information from books.
Yeah, but that is the one to use. Though,
It says I've got 0 out of 1 points. Does that mean I can't use it?
No, it doesn't. It just means you can't.
I've
You
got none
can't
to
spend points to get
an extra roll.
To get
a roll.
you'll only get
The
the basic, the minimum information. You can't spend. You haven't got any points to spend to get additional information if there is additional information to have.
Okay.
Okay.
So how
So that
do I
will
roll
obviously
it?
take you some time to search through all these filing cabinets to try and find something of something akin to what you're looking for, or anything of potential interest. So meanwhile, Wendy, you're looking down this corridor and these
Yeah.
small storage rooms running off to either side. So most if you go down, pushing the door, some of the doors are closed, some of them are open. Just pushing, none of them are locked. They're pushing the doors open. You can see, you just find they're just what you'd expect. Pretty mundane storage rooms. Most of them are complete, being cleared out of most of the supplies that would normally have been in there. But there's a few bits and pieces still left behind. A few like empty, mouldering bottles of cleaning products, musty old damp blankets, discarded cooking equipment, spare parts, bits of radiators, piping, all sorts of other junk. But you come to the end of this hallway, and the last door is locked, and the lock is well, it's clear, brand new. It's a padlock on a hasp.
A new padlock. Okay. So yeah, that key is not going to fit it. Let me have a look. Have I got? I'm going to try and find like a piece of wire or something to pick it, like an old paper clip. I can even run across the archives.
You're forgetting something you've been using all game, mate. Your bra. There's a wire in that.
There is, yeah. Very true.
Yeah, I would say you'd probably be able to find something amongst all the junk and stuff that's in these other storerooms. Or
yeah,
either something that you could attempt to pick it, or something, or maybe a bit of piping that you could even attempt to force the lock, whichever you need.
I want to pick it because I don't want to make as much noise. I want to keep it as quiet as I can.
Okay. So I believe that will be an infiltration check.
Okay. Oh, this is important. Go on.
So go on, mate. You can make the roll.
This is important. This.
Ooh, did you add 2?
Good job. You spent those points.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay. So you with your talents, you make short work of it. It's quite, it's pretty basic padlock. It doesn't pose any real problems for you with your talents, and you easily pick the lock. But as you're working away at the lock, you become aware of an odor emanating from behind this door, and it takes you a while to place it. First, it reminds you it conjures up images of the countryside.
Countryside.
It smells like horse manure. And then the padlock clicks.
Okay. I kind of like pinch my nose a bit and ease the lock off and gingerly open the door. Kind of like unsure of what there's going to be.
Okay. So, meanwhile, in the archives, you're going through the filing cabinets. Most of the paperwork in here is just like rotted and and covered with mildew and mold, and it's almost almost unreadable. Most of it's just completely destroyed with the damp. But you do find bits and pieces that are still legible. Most of it of no interest. You do come across while you're searching for original old floor blueprints of the building. You do indeed find some.
Ooh.
And although much to your surprise, disappointment, or whatever, whichever that may be, you see that the layout is pretty much identical.
What's the date on them?
The date is from 1915.
Okay, I'm taking them.
Okay. So as you take these, you find there's a few other bits of legible paperwork. Some notes from an inquest from 1930. Catch your eye. In fact, they were in the same folder for whatever reason. They were in the same folder as the blueprints. Whether they've been intentionally put there or just by chance.
I'm going to take it with me, but I'll have a quick look at it just now and just scan the main information.
Yeah. So it's an inquest into suicide of a member of staff.
Oh.
From 1930, from August 1930.
What's the member of staff's name, real quick?
So do you want to take a moment to look for the name?
I'm going to take a little look for that. Yeah.
Okay. So you take a moment to look, and it is a Dr. Anthony Koppel.
What was the circumstances? How did he kill himself?
Oh well, you're gonna read through the report then?
I guess I am. Yeah.
Okay. So so the circumstance of the suicide. So he committed suicide in the hospital, in this wing. On the stairwell, he hung himself on the stairwell. But it will take you some time to read through the report to find more details.
I've seen ghostly spirits on the stairwells, haven't I?
You have.
Yeah, you have. I'm going to stick that in my pocket and just continue looking and see if there's anything else I think's valuable.
Okay.
You don't have any pockets because you're in a...
Oh yeah, I've got my arse flapping in the wind, haven't I? Because I'm in a hospital gown. So I just tuck it under my armpit then. I don't have tits, I can't stick it in a bra. You don't have a bra, Wendy. Your tits are sagging, flapping around like spaniel's ears. You're just in your hospital gown. You're cheating. There's no bra.
You must have a bra.
No. It's everything to the wind in those hospital gowns, mate. It's a free for all. It's a free for all under that.
It looks like I'm carrying the key then.
No, you can just tuck it. You can. No, have you never seen a woman tuck something under her boob? You can do that. You can just like lift up the boob, slide it in, put it back down.
Maybe the women that you guys are with can do that.
It depends. Depends how big or how saggy your boobs are.
No, I'll carry it then.
There's no bra. I just realised that we're all just arse to the wind in these hospital gowns.
I like how Chris is the worst type of rules law you can get. He's like, I think you'll find you're not wearing the correct clothing for this mission.
So Wendy, you open the door to this storeroom, and the smell. This smell is it's more pungent, more stronger as you open the door, and this room is quite clean. There's no dust or cobwebs or debris on the floor. But what there is in the room causes you to just frown for a moment. Inside this storeroom are half a dozen plastic oil drums.
I call for Herman, like harshly whisper, Herman,
Do I hear him?
Herman, come and look at this.
If I hear him, I'll go.
You do not hear him. You do not hear him.
Oh. Tough shit,
So
Lee. Sorry.
So the lids of two of these plastic oil drums, you know, the kind of blue plastic oil drums. The lids of two of them are lying propped to the side of them. The other two are sealed, and there's electric blankets wrapped around them, plugged into a brand new socket on the wall.
Right.
And next to each of these 4 plastic oil drums with electric blankets around them are hospital stands, drip stands, with a bag of some kind of red fluid. It looks like blood, with an intravenous pipe drip running from this bag of blood in through the lid of these 4 drums.
Okay. I'll kind of like carefully step in, looking around. I'll check the blood type on the bag.
So as you step in, you notice there's just to your right of you, just behind, almost like hidden behind the door, there are 6 large 2-liter bottles of turpentine.
Turpentine.
As for the blood bag, there's no blood type on it. It's just just a unmarked drip feed bag. And one, like I said, there's one for each, one stand and one bag for each of these sealed blue plastic oil drums.
Okay.
And each one is wrapped as an electric blanket wrapped around it. And the whole room you can feel the warmth of this room. It's almost humid.
What the fuck
And as
are
you
they
step into the room, you can see it's quite small. These drums, you know, it fills up almost completely fills the room, and you can see the 2 empty ones. The 2 ones with the lids off are empty, but there's a stench, this like harsh smell of chemicals, also shit, coming from coming from these 2 open barrels that are otherwise empty, apart from, like I said, there's this strong odor.
So there's no like liquid residue in it or anything like that.
No.
And how are the other 2 closed ones sealed? Are they able to be?
4. There's 4 sealed ones.
4 sealed. Right. Okay.
So there's a plastic lid in it. Yeah. There's a plastic lid in the kind of got, you know, them sort of clasps, like spring clasps.
I do. I'm gonna do the forbidden thing and open one, because that's what you're doing in horror movie.
Okay.
Oh, what are you doing?
Okay, so you pull the clasp down, the clip, and lift it up, and it is full to the brim with horse manure. And it's like you feel the warmth. There's a stench of it, and you can feel the warmth of it from, you know, and this is a steam rising up off it, and the tube from the drip bag goes down inside this manure.
Now, I'm not there, but I'm just asking you a question as the games master here, Phil. You specifically said it was horse manure, so is it? Now, it's weird that we all know that horse manure smells different from different animals. I guess that's because of its diet, right? But it is specifically horse manure and not like manure.
Yeah, it is horse shit.
Okay.
You can see it is clearly horse shit. You can see the straw. You know, you can see the straw in it, the hay, and it's
You can see. The
it says
arse as it's coming out.
I think I think your character should have to eat a little bit to test it, because otherwise you don't actually know.
Yeah, you know, like
Bear Grylls.
trackers when they take the shit and they.
Just a little bit.
And it's kind of there's like it's put there's like where there's indented. You know, obviously it's not completely smooth. So there's like pools of like brackish, thick, syrupy, effluent pooling in the top of it as well.
Shit water.
Obviously, like, put me head away, like, cough a bit. I'm going to seal that back up. Then what I'm going to actually do is try and replace the blood from the IV with the turpentine.
Okay. What on one of them or all of them?
You're really gonna fuck around and find out, aren't you?
On all of them, if I've got the time. I'm basically I'm not yanking it out of the thing. I'm disconnecting it off the blood, and I'm kind of like putting it
emptying the blood, emptying the blood bag. Oh, what you're emptying the blood bag and put it into the blood bag, or you're attaching the cable to the.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah,
that works.
That's probably the only. That's probably what you'd have to do.
That works. Yeah, do that. So they're getting intravenous turpentine.
Okay, so that'll probably take you a while to do each one. So meanwhile,
I'm grumbling to myself, going, I would like to see these fuckers come after me tonight.
So Herman, you continue to search through these filing cabinets, and in one of the newer ones at the front, as you pull it open, there's a clunk and something, and you feel and hear something metallic slide forward, and kind of impact at the against the front of the against the front of the drawer as you pull it open. And looking inside, you can see there's an old, it looks like an antique box, maybe about 12 inches wide, long, and about 6 inches wide, and a few 2-3 inches deep.
I'll open it straight away.
It is a box of old, vintage, antique, even surgical equipment, including, although it's in bad condition, there's rusted knives, scalpels, surgical tubing, and the like.
Are any of them familiar, like the ones I saw when I was upstairs with Roberta?
They do look familiar, yes. It looks to be the same. Yeah, it's equipment from that of the same type, yeah, same period. There's also a letter.
I'll read that.
Kind of wedged at the back of this drawer.
I'll read that.
It is a letter from Dr. Haverley, addressed to the Central Hospital Board. And you can both make an infiltration check.
2 seconds, I'll just write my notes.
Bollocks.
Oh. Infiltration, where are you? Got mine.
Okay. So, Wendy, you were looking, or rather, sorry, Herman, you look at this. It's quite a short letter. It only takes you a couple of minutes to look it over. But it's a letter from Dr. Haverley to the hospital board, praising Dr. Drake and arguing the case that he would make an excellent addition to the hospital staff. at this particular hospital, despite past issues.
Dated.
It is from about 3 years ago.
I'll stick that in my pocket as well. Oh, I don't have a pocket. I'll stick it under my armpit. Just, I'm gonna have things sticking out my ass crack in a minute. Just wedge it under my armpit.
So Wendy, you're like you've empty the blood bag on the first these things and to feed and start the turpentine starts to slowly diffuse through the blood down into the first of these barrels.
Mm-hmm.
As you get the next bottle, you get the bottle of turpentine, start to prepare the second of these blood bags. The bottles become slick with the turpentine that's run down, and it slips from your hands and smashes with a crash on the floor. And you hear, "Whoa! Who's there?"
Shit.
Do I hear that?
I'm gonna do the awesome thing. I'm gonna get in the barrel, in the empty barrel.
No, get in the shitty one. Don't get in the empty one. Get the shitty one.
No, the shitty one.
Can't get in the shit one. They're full. Yeah.
There's a nurse in it who's coming tonight. I'm getting in an empty barrel with a lid.
Yeah, did I hear that, Phil?
Give me.
Hold my breath as much as I can.
Give me a hide check.
Right.
Sorry, did I hear that?
As you
No
clamber into this barrel and pull the lid down on over the top as best you can. Just as you hear the sound of doors, other doors down the corridor, being violently pushed open and banging back against the wall. "Who's here? I'll find you." And Herman, you can hear this.
I can hear this. I'm hiding.
You're going to hide as well?
Nah. If you want me to roll hide.
Give us a hide roll then.
Hide, where are you? Hiding. I've got no points to spend. Roll the 4 though. Oliver's on fire with the rolls. Oh, look at you, private sneaky boy. What are you doing?
Okay, so you hide behind, squeeze behind this row of filing cabinets, and Wendy, you hold your breath as best you can, which is probably for the best considering the stench that's in here as well, and the slick sides of the inside of the barrel, and you hear the sound of footsteps approaching. What must be approaching the door to this room. Do you want to do anything? Do you want to remain where you are?
No, I'm staying where I am and praying to God.
Okay. So you hear the door close and you hear the click of a padlock.
That piece of shit. Yeah.
And then you hear the footsteps receding away again.
Okay. Obviously try and hold as long as I can, but eventually I'll be like kind of thing.
Right, so Herman, you hear the doors to the ward open, and close, and the sound of a key being turned in the lock.
I'm gonna have to wait a couple of minutes, and then I'm gonna go looking for Wendy
Okay.
with
So-
with my stuff in my ass crack.
So I'll say it doesn't take you long to find. Maybe there's probably like a hear Wendy calling out.
Yeah,
doesn't take you
well,
long
I
to
will.
doesn't take you long to track it down to one of these, the storeroom at the end of this corridor,
Mhm.
and there's a padlock holding this door shut.
So it's
I'm trapped.
the room that that's in. It's just locked. Oh right, it's
Yeah,
padlock. And you said this was a newish padlock, didn't you?
yeah, yeah.
Now, how newish is the door that it's on, though? It might be on a weak bit of wood. Like,
So the door doesn't look new now.
so I'm going to try and find something. Is there anything solid, metal, or wooden and heavy that I can maybe just smash into the padlock to try and rip it off the wood that it's on, kind of thing? Keep the padlock intact, break whatever the padlock's on.
Yeah. There's, like I said, there's old pipe and stuff. So it's easy, a simple task of finding something, a suitable pry bar or blunt instrument.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Can give me an athletics check.
Oofed. You're having a laugh, aren't you? Don't we have to like lose hit points every time we do something strenuous?
Yes, you will lose a hit point as well.
I'm trapped. Get me out.
But shit is trapped, so I'm going to spend 2 points.
Oh.
And rolled 7.
Yeah, so you just easily smash it off, no problem. You just come first swing, you just smash it. You smash the entire thing off. The hasp, the padlock, it just clatters to the floor.
Okay.
And I put my hit points down to 2.
Yeah, you lose 1 hit point.
Right, let's get out of here.
Obviously, you know you'll see what's inside.
Yeah, I saw it all as I come in, yeah. What
So
the
is
fuck's
it
going
just
on
one
here?
that I've managed to sabotage them?
Yeah, just 1.
Okay.
What's
I-
this
So
one?
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just-
yeah. But yeah, Herbert, you see the contents of this room. You see these plastic oil barrels, these stands with the blood bags dripping and like feeding into these
And the blood's
barrels, the
feeding
electric
into the barrels
blankets.
full of... So there's blood feeding from a drip into a barrel of horse manure, and the horse manure's wrapped up in an electric blanket. So they're keeping this horse manure
electric
warm.
blankets around the barrels.
They're keeping horse manure warm, and they're feeding it blood.
Yes.
Yeah. I obviously stink of shit now, and
Yeah.
I've probably most likely got blood on me.
Yeah.
And I said, look, we've got to go. But before I go, I'm going to get the wires to the electric blankets and just try and wrench them out of...
Yeah, I mean, there's a plug.
Oh,
You can easily
sabotage.
unplug them.
Yeah.
You can easily
I wanted-
unplug them.
I wanted to sabotage it.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
if you rip them instead of
whatever I
unplugging
can
them,
do
then
to like
yeah, then they can't fix
tear
it
the
so easy.
wires if I can.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. You can do that.
Why are
Do
they,
that and then say, right, we need to go
why are they
before
feeding
it comes
blood?
back.
Why are they feeding blood to shit? What's going on?
I don't know. I think there's something in there.
It can't
not
be
gonna
anything
fucking
good.
stand around
It's
to
nothing.
find
Yeah,
out.
it's nothing good. It's nothing good. And I will join Wendy in tearing out these wires before we bugger off. It's nothing good.
Okay.
It can't be nothing good. Here.
I'll point to the Turpentine and say, at least I've sorted one of them. I would do more, but we haven't got time. We've got to go.
Now
Right.
read,
So
now read.
as you're doing this, you see like this aura flare up around Wendy. This bright red aura.
Bright red. And it flaring up.
And you can sense the emotion, this anger, just pouring off, like just flooding over. You can you can not only not just the colors. I mean, the colors are almost secondary. You can just feel the intensity of the emotions like flowing off her.
Calm down, Wendy.
It's almost like you can smell them, see them, and you can just through every fiber of your being. But particularly, you feel this intensity in your forehead.
Calm down, Wendy. Don't do anything crazy. We need to get out of here.
And Wendy, you can give me a oh, that's the wrong character sheet. You can give me a sense trouble roll, Wendy. Okay, so as you turn and you see the scar on Herman's forehead split and opens up, revealing an eye, a third eye.
Obviously, like stagger back. Oh my god!
And you can make a stability check.
Yeah.
And you feel this, like say, you feel this sudden intense release, and you can see, you can see with this third eye. You can feel this third eye, and you see the intensity of these colors. You see the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So you lose 1 point of stability, Wendy.
At least I got that right. I didn't spend any on that.
And you can you give me a stability check as well, Herman?
No, I'm God now. I can see everything. I can understand everything now. I'm groovy. Stability, where is it? Okay. How do you actually roll it?
It's in your under the general tab. You can just click on stability on the thing to roll.
Oh yeah. I'm on -1 out of 9.
Yeah.
4.
Okay, so yeah, you do not lose any stability, and as you, despite this revelation, you find yourself strangely calm and centered, and as you relax, you feel and see your third eye close, and as you look, Wendy, there's all that remains is just this faint scar on his forehead.
What was that? Your forehead, what the fuck?
I could feel it. I can see through it, and I could feel it. I could feel everything around me, and I understand everything. It's like I've got extra vision into a different something else.
Kind of like sadly said, in a sad way, said, "What have they done to you?
I don't know.
These bastards."
I don't want to know. We need to get out of here
Better
before
go,
they do any
better
more.
go now.
We've got to get out of here before they do any more. We've got to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to find the guys and
Fuck.
get out of here. Yeah.
We can talk about it more back on the ward.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Before they come and find that busted door as well. And all that shit we fucked up.
Okay, so Herman, now you can. You've got full use of that ability that is listed on your character sheet.
Can I switch it on and off?
Yep. You can use it as it says in the on your character sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will be kind. and say that you wait for the right moment before unlocking the door, slipping out
Yeah.
of the
I'm go-
empty ward on the second floor, locking the door behind you, and choosing your moment. You
Yeah.
slip across the lobby and back onto Ward 3.
I do, but before I get onto the ward, I wanted to just try and use one of the operating theatres, where they scrub up to
Yeah,
wash
okay.
as much of
Yeah.
the blood off me as I can. If there's a spare gown, take
Yeah.
that.
Or you could do that, or you could do the use the toilets just off the ward. Easily
That as
done.
well. Yeah, but that means I have to go on to the ward to get to them, doesn't it?
No, so they're not directly on the ward. They're on that section, but you can
Use the
can get them.
toilets then, yeah.
Yeah.
Use the toilets. That's less risky.
Yeah. Well,
Use the toilets.
whichever way, that's fine. That's fine. You manage to clean yourself up as best you can. Maybe even find a clean smock.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you return. So you've finally managed to return to the ward where your two fellow patients are sat. Ed looking a slight smirk on his face. Probably one on Roberta's as well now, since she's been unattended with a pocket full of a handful of morphine.
Goodies. They've been having all the fun while we've been having all the fun.
Oh yeah, Ed watching the same Van Damme movie that he watched before, but he's just enjoying it on a different level with the morphine. Like, he's found different levels of Van Damme-ness that he didn't know existed. So he's having a great time.
So, guys, we found some stuff.
Weird stuff. Very weird stuff.
Do we have to roll anything because we're like happy or some shit? Because we
First
probably
of
won't be
all-
bothered with what you guys are gonna tell us.
First of all, Ed, I can see things that other people can't see, and there's something inside you. Something
Is it,
bad.
oi,
Something
get me a
bad.
drink first, you slag. You're
There's
not getting inside me without a drink.
There's a thing. Like the movie Alien. There's a thing inside you, living inside your stomach, a parasite thing.
What?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's
I see things that other people can't see, and there's something inside Ed. We need to get it out of him. But we need to get out of here.
Ed didn't go on the ward last night.
It wasn't last night I saw it. It was the night before I saw it. When I first got my aura reading, I've been able to do this aura reading thing for a couple of days. And I saw.
No, that was only last night. This
Was it only last night?
Yeah.
But it was last night that I saw Ed with the thing in his stomach, though, wasn't it?
It was today,
Yeah.
earlier
Was
today.
it earlier today I saw it.
Today.
Ah, okay.
But Ed didn't go on the table. Ed was with me trying to figure out where the fuck you'd gone.
But he might have been. He just doesn't remember it. Maybe he has been under the knife.
Ed's like, all right, let me have a look if I've got a baby inside me. He takes all his clothes off and starts like looking at his stomach.
Straight. I go over to him and I start like stretching out the skin and like seeing if there is anything like moving or anything. I'm actually investigating this fat man's
Body.
naked stomach. Yeah.
He is not fat. He is elderly chiseled.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. But yeah. But as you lift up your gown, you do look and feel slightly bloated, as if you've eaten way too much Christmas dinner. And as Herman like
baby-sized one.
and as Herman perhaps over enthusiastically starts prodding and groping your gut, it feels tender.
I think.
And you do remember when you were going to fake like a seizure upstairs. You remember that like you were this intense stomach cramp that practically floored you.
Well, I guess in my happy state, I might be like, so it might actually be better to tell him he's got a baby inside him when he's probably had a bit of morphine.
We need to get you
so
out here and
he's
get you
like-
to a real doctor, though.
He's like, but I've got to save the children, not the children inside me, the other children downstairs.
I think we need to get out here and get to the police, and then the police can come
We
and save
can't
the
get
children.
out. Herman, we can't get out. That's why I did what I did to them things. We found some fucking barrels with some things in it.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know
found
what
some
they are.
weird
My
shit.
guess is it's the nurses. But I tried, and I kind of like look over my shoulder, make sure nobody's listening. Did what I can to sabotage them. They're growing something. I tried my best to finish whatever it was in there,
They're
but we
incubating something.
didn't have enough time.
Something weird.
But with
Something big.
this blizzard, we can't get out,
Oh yeah, we can't get out because of the weather. I forgot
and nobody
about
can get in. Even Dr. Haverly's not making it.
that. Nah,
Oh,
shit.
my plan was to tell him all about it.
Forgot about the weather.
But on the plus side, I mean, because I presume we're sharing all the information we've all got separately, you guys said one thing that makes me feel slightly more hopeful, because you saw some new stuff, right? Because we were on the thing that everything's old, maybe it's a time warp, but you guys have seen like a new lock, like something
Yeah.
that's from like... So that makes me feel
That-
safer.
So
like
the
a
room
enough
that had
trap.
the room that had the barrels in had a brand new padlock on it. That was a brand new
Yeah.
padlock.
Yeah.
I'll also
So
show you
we
the
know
bits
it-
of paper that I've got. So I've got the floor plan. Everything's the same. I've got this letter where Dr. Drake has been recommended and praised by Dr. Haverly to become a full-time member of staff here despite past incidents. So Dr. Drake has past incidents.
That seals it. Then it's Drake. Drake's doing things to us at this hospital, to others.
And you
But
think because of
we're-
this blizzard and nobody can get in and out, this is why it's intensified recently.
But Roberta, don't you know Dr. Drake? Like, you know him pre this, right? Do you know... Or I'm getting confused.
No, it's
I thought
Haverly.
Roberta... well, there's two docs, isn't there? And Roberta knows one of them previously.
So Drake's our full-time doctor now, and Haverly isn't here anymore. So I guess Haverly used to be the full-time doctor here, recommended Drake for the job here despite Drake's past incidents. Drake is now our full-time doctor here. Haverly's not here all the time, so Drake's getting away with whatever bullshit he gets away with now because Haverly's not here all the time. I'm
Let me
barking up
confirm
the
with
right
Dave,
tree
but-
there, haven't I, Phil?
Oh, no, but I'm just saying, but... DM, so... But Beth, the little girl, she said one of the doctors was trying to maybe help her.
Yeah,
Like,
that was Dr. Drake.
And so Drake was trying to help. So I'm going to tell you guys that he was trying to help the little girl to... So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to figure out who the evil doctor is.
I'm trying to
or
work out
maybe
which
it's
one's the
not
bad
evil
one, and
doctor.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
So yeah, when
Yeah.
she was trying to run away and she got trapped, she couldn't find a way out of the hospital, and she found that she got to the front door. All the doors had disappeared. The only door that was there was that door, was the main door, and it had that big, heavy chain with this ornate heart-shaped lock on it. And she couldn't get out, and she was getting all scared. And then Dr. Drake found her and helped her.
So you don't mean he's a good
Helped
guy,
her.
but he's...
Helped
Yeah,
her,
I
but
mean-
did they help her or did they help her? Do you know what I mean? Like Jim fixed it. He didn't fix it.
I can see what's happening, but it's too insane to say.
What do you think? Do you think
Yeah.
they're growing these mad nurse monster women out of horse manure and blood?
I think so. I don't know why. I don't know how.
That's
I mean,
a
there's
wi- a
4
wild
barrels,
theory.
and there were 4 of us.
There's 4 sealed barrels and another 2 barrels.
Yeah, and Ed's going to say that he's worried that this is happening to the kid, so he's like, we've got to stop it. But Ed is confused whether we need to physically do something in the real world or we have to do shit in the dream world, but he's worried if he goes into the dream world, some of us are going to have, like, you know, things removed again.
Way I
So-
see it, we need to find a way of killing whatever's in the rest of them barrels, and then finding Dr. Avely and telling him and getting evidence to prove that Drake's doing bad shit.
But if Haverly doesn't
What
come
if-
back, we can't do that.
What if we go to sleep near the barrels? Because then we might be in the right place when we wake up in the dream place. Because usually we wake up when we go to sleep in the same place that we originally fell asleep. If that makes sense.
No.
I mean,
Don't know
yes
what we
and
can
no.
do.
I see where you're going with it, but I don't know how we're going to get away with sleeping there. They'll come looking for us. We'll be missing, and when we're not on our
No,
beds.
we would have been in serious trouble if they'd have caught us. I'm pretty sure. Lurch is on the prowl, and he very nearly caught us twice. They're going to be alert.
Plus, we bust a door. I had to bust a door because Wendy was locked in when she was hiding.
Yeah.
She got locked in that room, and I had to bust the door. So they're going to find that door bust. They're going to know someone's been in there.
Exactly. So what we need to do is hide, find somewhere to hide what we've got. Then they can't find it.
Prison bucket.
Where can we hide?
Oh, and Roberta's got this book, right? Roberta, you got some bits and bobs, right? You've got like a book and a wallet. You got 2 books, right?
What?
You got the book. I thought you got one. I thought she got one from downstairs, like off the shelf of the doctor.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Did yeah.
Not like,
Took quick-
you're
took
not
one
like
them-
but about religious-y texts.
Yeah. One the medical the historical medical textbooks. Yeah. As well from Dr.
you've got-
Drake's office.
But she's got the new book, right? I'd be like, Roberta, like, speak up, love. You've probably had a couple of bottles. What's in the other book?
Oh, you might be muted, Chris.
I'm muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Muted.
I think we can say something now. I think we can hear you. We heard a grunt.
No.
No, still muted. Technical issues.
No, still no. Can see you.
No.
You'll fix
Hey,
it.
you know the roof, the ceiling for this room? Is it like that foam squared tiles
Like the
that you
upper
can kind of like
stairs, yeah.
push up?
Oh, what the ward? The ceiling of the ward. Yeah, it's them foam. Get them like polystyrene.
You just push them up with a
tiles,
finger. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get on my bed and push him up and put the key up there and say, pass me the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you the,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
paperwork
Okay.
and stuff that I found as well.
Oh, do you want me to get? Oh, I know. Do I trust you guys with my key? Got a key on me.
Well, it's that.
If you don't,
It's
they're
up
going to
there.
know that we've broke that lock and they're going to come looking for what we've taken.
Yeah, and it's either it goes up there or it goes in your prison pocket. It's up to you.
I mean, I feel
I
relaxed.
think your
enough to
mic's
put it-
working again, Chris.
Aye.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Yep.
Yay.
So what's in the book? I
So
don't
the
know.
book. So the book. So look at you would have had time to look at the book while you've been waiting.
Yeah.
So there is a book plate on the inside of the cover, which announces it or determines it as property of Our Lady of Sorrows Hospital Library. You know, kind of on the thing, like a stamp on the inside, so to show that it's from the old library. So this book, so Langley must have got this book from the old library in the old, the abandoned wing. And this book is not unlike the books from Dr. Drake's office. It is a treatise on the history of medicine. And there's a slight, as you flick through it, you notice there's a wider gap in some of the pages, and you find tucked in between a couple of the pages is a handwritten note in German. And on the pages, on one of the pages where this note is, there's like a plate, like an illustration on one page on one side that depicts a medieval plague doctor. Not unlike the one that you saw last night in the operating theatre.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Well, that's what I read.
So, Roberta, you do have languages, so you can read this. You can read this note.
Do you need to roll?
No, you don't need to make a roll because it's an investigative skill. So you don't need to make a roll at all. It doesn't need any points spent because it's just one phrase. It says, "The eye sees and the hand unlocks. The key is born of the riddle of flesh."
that's what the guy who tried taking your bollocks said.
Yep.
He said the first half. I don't think he said the second half, did he? The eye
doesn't that make
sees
a lot
and
more
the hand
sense?
unlocks. The key is
Pretty
born of the
sure,
riddle of
reading
flesh.
between the lines, I'm pretty sure Herman's penis is going to open the heart door. Putting it all together. Put all of the information together that we've got, that seems like a valid thing.
So we need to put that book up here in this ceiling.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. The eye
Do we wanna-
sees. The eye
Should we not
sees.
scan it?
The eye sees. I've got this eye that sees. Is that a reference to me and my new third eye? I tell them all about this third eye thing, by the way. The eye sees.
I you got fucking 3 eyes and I've only got 1.
Haha.
He stole your eye. Beat
And
him
the
up.
hand
Go
unlocks.
for it.
It did.
You can, Wendy, you can make a, what would it be?
I just wonder if the eye sees, if the eye sees is a reference to me, who's the hand unlocks a reference to?
In fact, you don't need to make, no, when you don't need, so it suddenly strikes you that the eye that you saw open in Herman's, this eye that you saw open up in Herman's forehead was a different colour to his eyes. Is the same colour as Roberta's eyes.
Yeah. I
Have. Oh.
I have I
I
actually
will
stolen
kind
Roberta's
of-
eye.
announce that revelation and kind of like hold your hand and say, I'm so sorry. But I think what they did was take your eye and put it in Herman.
No, don't even bother trying to console me. You're the one that all told me that I always had a fucking fake eye, but it's quite funny to realize that it was in his fucking head. And he's gonna be a Cyclops for the rest of his life. Fucking weird, looking parasitic, fucking got all the disease.
Yeah. You better much. I didn't mean to take your eye, Wendy. Roberta. I didn't mean to take your eye. Don't hate it so
Oh,
hard.
you're gonna be dead in this fucking month anyway, aren't you? Get a common cold if you want out of here.
Common
We
cold will
all
take me out. We're all going to be dead in 24 hours at this rate. with what's going on here.
Well, I've got someone's ovaries inside me as well, so I mean, I probably need to give
Yeah,
them
they
back
implanted alien
eventually.
ovaries in him. It could have been worse.
Yeah.
There's no signs of
I don't
so
know.
when you've been examining, looking
Wait a minute.
over Ed. There's no signs of any surgery. You've no history of any surgery other than the recent injury when you got
Well,
shot.
Can I? You said I
Yeah.
could. Can I switch this on and off?
You can try.
I'm going to try and switch it on. I'm going to try and switch it on, and I want to look at Ed's stomach again.
Okay.
Switch on and go. Look what I've got.
So it doesn't open this time.
No.
It doesn't open up. But you look at Ed, you can see the glow around him is glowing in a let me get this right. It's got a yellow aura around him, but as you look down to his stomach, you can see this twisted mass of flesh. So what was, when you first saw it, it was about the size, not much bigger than a tennis ball, but now it looks about the size of a grapefruit.
And that's
And it
less
seems
than
to
24 hours
pulse.
ago.
Yeah, less than 12 hours ago.
Less than 12 hours ago, yeah. And it's pulsing.
Yeah, it seems to pulse.
Static besides the pulse. It's not moving around the stomach like a baby would.
No. It seems to. You're not sure if it's something. It's something just that you can see, because Ed doesn't.
Does it have?
He's not aware of it.
Does it have its own aura?
It's black.
Yeah, I thought it might be. I knew it was going to be black. I even knew you were going to say tennis ball. My psychic powers are kicking in here with this one. I want to close my two main eyes, and I want to try and talk to it without saying anything. I want to try and telepathically talk to this thing that's inside this inside Ed, and be like, "Who are you, and what are you doing inside Ed?"
While he's doing that, I'm remarking on why it smells like horse shit in there.
It's the reason why we're not going to be facing any more nurses, hopefully. They were growing some shit. I don't know what. But I almost got caught by Lurch. I had to hide in a barrel full of horse shit.
Didn't pass you a wet wipe just to sort yourself out.
I have washed.
Just what?
Are you getting out of bed to do that?
Yeah.
Do I have any joy
So
trying
Herman,
to
you
talk to the thing?
have to spend a point on a point from your aura reading power.
Okay.
It's not alive.
It's not alive. It's not alive, or it's not sentient.
It's not alive.
So I've got shit ovaries to boot.
Now,
That's not a good day.
in the
Not a good
sense
day
that,
for fucking Ed, is it?
hang on, because I'm going to get technical with the word alive here. Like a tumor is alive, right? A tumor is alive, so it's not a tumor.
It's not alive. It's not alive.
But it's moving. It's pulsing. But it's not alive.
So, like I said, the pulsing, you're not sure if that's like a
That's just the
something
aura.
that you.
Yeah, that could just be the aura. Yeah. So, so maybe this thing isn't actually moving. That could just be like the effect of the aura that's moving that I see, right? Okay. And it doesn't talk. It's not alive.
No.
Could ask Ed if it's moving. It's inside its body.
Ed, do you feel it yet?
I don't know. Do I feel? I'm just
Now that,
looking at my.
now that I've made you aware,
slightly-
do you feel it? I'll point to
don't
where
know,
it
do I
is,
feel it?
and I'll show him the size and shape of it and stuff.
So, like I say, you feel, Ed, it's like this sensation of being, like, feeling slightly bloated, as if you've eaten too much.
Yeah, I'm
And if you press on your stomach in certain places, it feels tender.
Should we try and take it out? Should we take it out?
I have a question. This was this the hospital that Ed was taken to when he was shot, or
Yeah.
is this okay?
Where was
Can
he shot?
I-
Was it in the leg he was shot?
I don't know. Where was it you were shot?
Let me check. I think so. Or the hip, maybe.
It wasn't the stomach.
Yeah. No.
Just thinking it's not a result of the bullet wound, eh?
If it doesn't say, you can decide. But I think it was like in the back, wasn't it, around the hip or something like that? But that might be me just imagining.
I just says worried about you in hospital 3 days. Worried about the wound getting infected. I don't know if it says.
So it's up to you.
It says a bullet in your side.
There you go. So yeah, it's on your side. Yeah. So yeah.
So maybe.
Just my thought process was that he came in here with a bullet wound, like, you know, I could easily have put him on a fucking table and been like, here, take a wee alien baby up your fucking hole. Yeah.
That's they could put something in by mouth rectally. There's lots of holes. You don't need a bullet hole to get things into your body.
Exactly.
There's already. You still got the voice on, by the way, Chris.
Yeah.
I know, and it's on purpose.
So, with my occult knowledge, do I know, like, utilizing these things? Can it open a gate or something like that? Can there be things that you can open something with?
I kind of just want to grab a scalpel and start pulling it out of him, to be honest.
What with what? Sorry.
With like the eye and whatever's in Ed, can they be used as like sacrifices, or are they used in certain ways?
No, it's nothing that you've heard of. I mean, what Herman seems to be describing, he seems to be describing what some psychics talents that some psychics claim to have, been to be able to see the auras of people, sense the emotions of people. It's nothing. Whether you believe that or not, it's another thing.
Well, it can literally see his third eye, so.
But yeah, that's not happening now. You saw it happened then, but it's not happening now.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So are we going to try to break out here, even though the place is fucked and we can't get out? Or we're gonna do that tonight.
I think I'd rather die out there in the snow.
It's
To be honest.
done.
Yeah, I think at this point I'd rather die out there in the snow than whatever they're doing to us.
Right. So how are we gonna get the kids out?
Yeah, we can't just do this half-assed. We've got to. We need to try and get Dr.
We are sick and injured patients in a hospital. We
Exactly.
we are not superheroes. We are not supposed to be rescuing anyone. We're just trying to survive our own horror movie here, guys. Don't try and rescue the kids. Fuck the kids. They can die.
Look, hopefully what we did is delayed Drake. So hopefully tonight is not going to be like a nightmare. He's going to come looking for what we've taken. And so long as we've hidden it well in that ceiling, there's a good chance that we'll be okay. You know, he can't overtly do it. And then maybe tonight we can, I don't know, you can either look around tonight or we can try and get out. But going out in that blizzard in a hospital smoke, we're asking for trouble. The best bet is to sit tight try and wait on Dr. Angley, or find a way back into that ward to finish off killing whatever the fuck it is that he's growing, and do whatever we can to help Ed.
I kind of
Uh,
just want to fill Ed full of morphine, grab a scalpel from that little box and take take whatever that is that's in him and just take it out. I've got no medical training
Maybe
whatsoever.
that's what we do tonight. But I have no medical training. The chances of us killing Ed is
Yeah,
pretty high.
I mean, if we're playing that game of like, maybe I'll just get that extra eye out and give it back to Roberta if we're going to start playing swapping body parts.
You're already
good
half
point.
morphined up. You just shut up. I'm gonna jab some more into you just now.
But do you
So-
not
We're,
think...
we're not surgeons.
You're getting Jeffrey
So at this
Dahmer,
point,
Martin.
the catering staff, along with the nurses, come
Mhm.
round. They serving your tea, your early evening meal. The nurses
Yeah.
giving you your medication.
Yeah. I'm going to try and rest up. I'm going to ask it if my bag's around. Is my bag anywhere?
It's just in the cabinet there. It's just locked up. Do you want me to get it for you?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So she takes the key and unlocks the cabinet and like hands you your handbag.
Any chance I can spend some time on the phone to my sister?
So I've got the name.
I'm not gonna tell her-
So the
I'm not
nurse,
gonna-
so the one. So once you've had your medication and you've eaten your meal, if you're having it, then you can go and use the phone to call your sister. Of course, you can.
Thank you.
Yeah. I suggest we rest up. We all need some rest, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We're all...
Out of character, I'm not planning on telling her what's going on. It's just that's how we get stability back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of your points of stability, so you can.
Yeah.
Roberta quickly
Um,
takes a bite of her food and then spits it in the staff's face.
Also, losing myself in a book gives me back stability. And you
Oh,
got,
okay.
didn't Roberta? Didn't you steal that guy's book, like that, the actual War and Peace? Didn't you steal that as well?
No.
Aw.
No.
So you're
Can't
spitting,
shut that up,
you're spitting your food, some of your food into the nurse's face.
Mhm.
Right. So she just scowls at you. She doesn't even. Her face just like flushes red, and you can see her biting her tongue. But she doesn't say anything. She kind of just like cleans the food off her, takes your food away, and she storms off out of the ward.
Did.
Herman, do you want any first aid? Because we were kind of swapping the whole first aid thing, and I think I owe you. Do you want... So if I spend one of my first aid points, then I can give you 2 health back. Do you want that? Is that going to help?
Please. That puts me up to 4, which is as high as I can go, I
Okay.
believe.
Okay, I've put mine down, hopefully. So you can let me do it.
I'm checking through my handbag still
Yeah, I think
when
you
I,
spend
when
the
I've done all this. When I've eaten.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to see what items are in there.
Okay. But
What the
you tell
kinds?
me.
I don't know. You tell me.
Hand grenades, 9mm.
It's up to you.
It's not.
Is it not? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll have to have a look.
In the meantime, Roberta's sat here wondering why the hell Ed is helping the guy that's still her eye. When
I didn't steal your eye. I came
Okay,
over. I
you
came
wonder
over when you were
what's
sleeping,
happening.
and I took it out and I put it in my head. You were there in that surgery, in that theater with me when they were sticking things in our heads. I didn't have a choice in the matter, Roberta. You saw. You were there.
Have a look at my sheet if you need info on it, I think.
I think that you definitely are in cahoots with whatever's going on in this hospital. you've got a fucking superpower now, and it's just strange that you would come in here with some kind of invisibility, and you probably didn't hear loads throughout your life, and you know all the stuff, and now you've got a third eye, which is fine.
This has just happened. I've only just got this ability. It only just happened since last night, since we were in that surgery, in that theatre, and they were sticking fucking surgical instruments into my head. I didn't take your eye.
Well, you were the one that was like, oh, we'll do this tonight, and then, oh, I said we're both fucked.
How do you explain you
I
haven't had a
think
glass eye for
it's
months?
empty.
Okay. Right.
The only thing that's in it is like a name tag on the inside with your name on it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I can put it away. I just wanted to know what were inside it
Yeah, it's empty.
for obvious reasons.
But
Yeah.
it's just the act. For some reason, this it gives you comfort.
Okay. I'm not wanting to draw comfort from it if I have the option.
Okay.
I thought there might have been stuff in it.
No, there's no. You were found when you were found. There was no ID, no phone, no money, no wallet. The only thing that you had, you were hanging on to, was this handbag, which had your name on it.
Yeah. Okay, put it back.
Roberta throws the book at the bookworm's head, says, fucking read that prick.
Catch it.
No. You don't see, because we just had an argument and you went into a sulk.
I've got 3 eyes, I see it fine.
You started, you haven't got fucking
You try to throw it over here.
outside.
You try to throw it over here, but it lands over here because you've got no fucking depth perception because you've got 1 eye.
I'm resting up till night.
Yeah, I'm reading a book. I'm going to read a book.
I suggest we all do that.
Get some stability
and then
back.
we'll try and get to not do something tonight.
Okay, so after you've all finished your meal, the catering staff come and take away your pots, plates, clear away, give you drinks if you want, and serve drinks if anybody wants them. And then after your meal's been served, and maybe you, Herman, you go off to use the phone to speak to your sister.
Nah, because I got a book. Book's fine. I'm just gonna lie and rest and read the book.
Okay. So So while you're sat there dozing, reading book or whatever, the nurse returns with an orderly and approaches Roberta's bed, and the nurse is carrying a needle, and she draws something into the hypodermic from a bottle, and nods at the orderly, who holds Roberta down on the bed while the nurse injects this whatever this substance is into Roberta's arm. You can try and fight and struggle if you wish, of course.
Does that include the rest of the room? No, that's possible. Let's try to fuck this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do something, I think.
I don't know, but
Okay.
Roberta has been trying to get as many drugs as she can, so I'm like, wouldn't we be like, finally they're giving you what you want?
But it's not a fucking drug. This is fucking cyanide. This is fucking me done it. Right?
I'm gonna throw the book across the room and try and knock the injection out of their hand.
I'm headbutting the order. I've headbutting the orderly and turning the fucking needle on the nurse.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try and knock the
You'll
needle
have to
out
give
of
me
the
an
hand.
athletics check then. An athletics check from both of you then.
Right, I'm spending 2 points, Chris. Don't ever act like I don't love you again.
Oh, that is...
Good job I spent those 2 points, Chris.
Okay. So, so you hurl the book. Right. Okay. So, Roberta, you
I didn't do
struggle.
this bad. I didn't do this bad.
Okay. Okay. So you struggle against the orderly. Break free. Herman, you hurl a book across the room, and not hitting the needle, but hitting the nurse, and she is stopping her from injecting Roberta.
Nice.
I'm.
And as this happens, the head nurse appears, and she calls for more orderlies, and another two orderlies come rushing into the room.
I'll shout out for Herman and Roberta to stop and say, sorry, they'll be calm. They've had a fight. They were arguing.
Can I read the auras of these nurses and orderlies? Do they have? I can read I can spend points with this skill, and I can actually read their intentions, Phil. I can get their general emotion. I can get their general emotion state, including which of the following adjectives best fits their current condition: joyful, depressed, angry, amused, confused, frightened, or relaxed. Whether they're healthy or unhealthy, and if they're under the influence of a spirit or other supernatural being.
So you can spend the points then.
How many points do I spend?
How many does it say? I think it's just the 1 point, is it?
I've got 7.
So it's 1 point for each type of thing you want to learn, I believe.
So I want to know what are they trying to do to her? What are their intentions? Are they to harm her or help her? And I want to know if they are under the influence of
okay, so that'll be 2 points.
2 points, okay.
So they are not under anybody's influence, and they are acting of the concern for the well-being of the patient, other patients, and the staff.
So they are trying to help, right? Okay.
No, they think they're trying to help.
You think they're trying to help, yeah.
So
their intention is that they're helping. It doesn't fucking mean that they are. Do you know what I mean? A man points right. I don't want to use the word to describe the Germans in the 1950s, but you know they thought they were the good guys. You know.
Ed gets a marker and draws a third eye on his eye and just winks at you.
What? I'm just shouting, calm the fuck down.
So like these orderlies come in, the curtains are drawn round, and you can hear all this commotion going off. There's fighting, there's like shout. You can probably hear Roberta shouting and screaming till
I didn't
eventually.
The plan was to get transferred to psych ward.
Till eventually, maybe 5 minutes later, the curtains are pulled back as the orderlies walk out, and Roberta is unconscious.
Yeah.
A few minutes later,
remember what happened to the last person they took away as they restrained them? They turned up dead in the morgue. And then
and a few minutes later, an orderly returns, and they wheel Roberta out of the ward.
I'll say to Ed and Herman, I'll say this is bad. They shouldn't act up like that because that's what's going to happen. She's probably on her way to psych ward. And we can't keep an eye on her now.
Right, and the head nurse comes in. She picks the book up off the floor and comes and strides over strides over to Herman and says, "I'm sure you don't want to end up on the psychiatric ward as well."
I'm sorry, the book.
Do you, Mr. Minnow?
I'm sorry.
And you should be aware of your own health. You know you are weak
I'm sorry, the book gave me such a fright. It was an involuntary action. I just jerked, you know how it is when you get frightened. You...
Right, she just like gives you this stern look, like with hands crossed across her breast, and she marches out of the room, taking the book with her.
Oh, nice one, Vinegar Tits. Take my fucking book away, you miserable cow.
So, Roberta, you're just barely aware of where you are. You can see the lights passing, like flashing as a flicker past above your head as you wheel down into the lift, up to the 3rd floor, and onto Ward 4, onto the psychiatric ward. Where you are restrained.
Strapped down.
Not that you're fully aware of what's happening. As you like slip in and out of consciousness.
Did I get to read my book long enough to get a stability back?
No.
Bastard.
No.
Bastard.
No.
Shit.
So, it soon gets dark, the lights come on, the shift changes over.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to sleep at some point. We need to rest as well, remember? We're sick.
Yeah, if you don't sleep,
We're sick.
if you don't sleep, you will not regain health.
Yeah.
I was trying to rest from tea time.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm trying to.
I got first aid
So-
from Ed. I am at the max health I can get to. Maybe I don't go to sleep. Maybe I stay awake and watch for people come in.
I can give you some. Remember, I've got my big tub of coffee. If you want to just chop
Yeah,
coffee down.
yeah. I'll
Help
stick
you stay
some
awake a bit
between my gum
longer.
and my cheek. Like, do that. Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
line my gums with coffee.
So, so who's going to rest and who's wanting to try and stay awake?
I'll stay
I'll
awake.
definitely rest.
Okay. So you will get 2 health back.
Wonderful. Max is 3 though, yeah.
It is half of your max.
I
Yeah.
want to rest. But I'm worried I'll go to sleep and then be in my Freddy Krueger dream. So I want Herman, if he's going to stay awake, to like watch me. And if I start twitching, or blood starts to pool out of me, then you can wake me up. If you're staying awake.
Okay, so Herman, you're going to stay awake. Ed's
Yep.
going to you're going to rest.
Yeah.
Okay, so so Wendy and Ed, you do eventually fall asleep. Are you doing anything special to try and stay awake, Herman?
I'll give you my coffee so you can use that to.
Yeah, I'm like rubbing coffee on my gums. Rubbing coffee grinds on my gums.
Give me an athletics check.
I'm gonna.
You will be able to stay awake regardless, but I'll allow you the check because you're imbibing large amounts of coffee grounds. So basically, if you pass the check, you will stay awake without losing a point of health. Otherwise, you will lose the point of health for forcing yourself to stay awake.
We'll spend a point here. Oh, I'm on fire
Okay.
today with the rolls.
So you manage to stay awake. You do not suffer with the aid of the coffee. You don't suffer the loss of health. So the hours creep past. Maybe every so often your eyelids droop, and when you open your eyes again, and a couple of hours have passed, or half an hour has passed, and the ward is silent. The clock on the wall is ticking up towards midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And a strange silent atmosphere seems to descend on the place. The sounds around you become muted.
Right. Altered music. There's
Yep.
plenty music.
Just about to do that very thing. And you hear the sound of heels clicking on the tiled floor. And lurching into the ward come two of these nurses.
Motherfuckers.
So I'm going to wake up Herman and I'm going to wake up, sorry, Ed and Wendy. Now, we would have had a system set up where I, like, had something ready to just toss over and flick at them or something.
Okay, well, you can...
Coffee grounds, yeah.
Yeah, flick some coffee beans at them.
Okay.
You weeks are one fucking coffee bean, I swear.
So Herman, if Herman's trying to wake you, if you want to be woken by Herman, you can spend a point of health to wake up.
I'm worried that they're going to immediately sedate us because didn't that happen last time to someone?
I'm not, because I remember Roberta were awake for her entire procedure, and I'm not having that. I'd rather be asleep.
So they come in with this you know, sort of almost this like jerking, almost insect like movement as a scuttle across the ward, approaching the beds. As they start to approach Herman's bed.
Oh.
Might be all right.
Oh.
Sorry, not Herman's bed. Sorry, Ed's bed. And Wendy's bed. But when they see Herman is wide awake, the one heading towards Ed's bed suddenly like turns away and turns and advances suddenly, just like in this jerking motion, advances on Herman, and as she does, she extending her arm, and as she does, you see 5 hypodermic needles burst from the tips of her fingers. This green viscous fluid dripping from the tips of the needles, and just like lunges at you.
It gets worse for Herman.
I'm going to try and kung fu kick her in the face, like.
Okay, you can try. As you try and move, you suddenly find your movements, your limbs feel like lead. You can move.
I'm going to attempt scuffling.
Yep, you can attempt scuffling.
Every day I'm scuffling. Here we go. It's my first attempt at scuffling.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Punch this evil nurse robot bitch in the face.
Oh, it is. So she lunges at you, and almost just before these needles are gonna like plunge into your foot, into like the top of your arm, you manage to grab her wrist, and you're both like struggling against each other. So you'll have to make another scuffling roll.
Oh, I've spent another point. Let's go every day. I'm scuffling.
Right, so she's too strong, and suddenly she's like overpowers it, and the needle just like plunge into your arm. You feel this sharp pain, and then this cold sensation as this just like running through your arm and down your arm and up through across your chest, and you are completely and utterly paralyzed.
Oh, so it doesn't, I'm not knocked out, just paralyzed.
Just paralyzed.
Oh shit.
And then she turns and heads back towards Ed's bed as the other wheels Wendy out of the ward, followed by Herman. By Ed, so I keep calling it Ed, getting names mixed up. Yeah, and then wheeling Ed out of the ward.
Ed's happy.
Behind.
He's like, I wonder if what else someone will add to me this time.
You'll come back
maybe-
with I.
I'm hoping me and Wendy get stitched together and we'll be like, "Hi, we forgot that we were Chinese twins. We forgot about that."
So again, well, like previous night, except the roles are reversed. You hear the sound of the wheels on the trolleys, gurneys squeaking, the sound of the clatter of the doors of the lift being opened and then slid shut, and then the sound of the motors as the lift ascends to the 3rd floor of the hospital. And as silence slowly begins to descend upon the ward, and you hear again the ticking of the clock, you feel the sensation returns to your body again, Herman, and you find yourself completely and utterly alone on the ward.
Yeah.
Roberta, you groggily come to your senses and find that you, as you try and move, try and sit up, you find that your arms and your legs are restrained to the sides of your bed. You can hear Jared in the bed next to you going, "Yes, dear. Yes. Oh, yes. I'll make sure it's clean. I'll make sure it's clean this time."
Jared.
Okay, you turn your head. He's asleep. He's just talking in his sleep. You can try and wake him if you want.
Yes.
Okay. So what are you going to do? Try and slap? You're just going to shout at him, or well, you can't.
Can't do anything but shout. I'm restrained in the bed.
No, why
Okay.
don't you fire your eye at him? Did you put your eye back in? You could try and pop it. And, like,
Let's squeeze it out.
I don't know if the velocity at which the eye would come out of my socket
I don't think so.
would
I
be
don't
hard
think so.
enough to actually wake him up. I think that my words might hit him harder.
No.
Oh, well, actually, because I've had my false eye for a whole day, though, I've learned this amazing trick where I can pop it out, catch it in my mouth, and spit it with ferocity at people. I try everything that I can to wake them up. I scream, I shout.
Okay.
I scream until either an orderly or someone comes into the room.
So there's no response from Jared, and eventually the nurse on the night shift comes walking in. Says, what's all the commotion? You need to calm down.
Nurse, Jared just went into his bed. He was confused and thought I was his wife.
Right, so she goes over to him and checks him, and you must have been imagining it. Jared is sedated and he's restrained. We've had to restrain him after an incident earlier today. He tried to leave the ward, apparently, but you've had a trying day, Roberta. You need to relax, try and calm down. We don't want to have to sedate you again.
Yeah, I assume that would be a good thing. I'm finding it hard to sleep. By any chance, are there any books here from the library?
There isn't a library here anymore. The library was closed down when the east wing of the hospital was shut down. Hasn't been
Oh,
a library here.
I know, but sometimes there's just bits and bobs rolling about. Did you bring a book with you to work or anything like that?
I do have a book that I'm reading, but it hardly matters to you, Roberta, since you can't read, since you are restrained.
You could read it on with ease, and I could read it to try and pass the time before I fall asleep.
If you want, and if you're going to be quiet, I will come and sit and read for you.
You can read me a fairy tale.
It's not a fairy tale. It's a book on the history of the American Civil War.
Well, I could tell you about the American Civil
Well,
War.
maybe
You know
we
what I
can have
used
a
to do
nice-
for a living.
Maybe we can have a nice conversation about it then. A nice, relaxing conversation, Roberta.
I don't know if you've ever met me. Yeah, it's not very relaxing topic, the Civil War, but that's okay. Yeah, sure. Let's pass the time.
Okay, so she comes over and you start up an interesting, in-depth discussion about the Civil War, maybe interjecting every now and then as she reads the excerpts from the book. And in the distance, maybe you hear the faint sound of the lift door. You know, those concertina wrought iron doors of the lift slide open. And we're being wheeled out of the lift, or rather, two gurneys wheeled out of the lift and into one that the operating theatres on the third floor. And Wendy and Herman, you start to... Sorry. Ed, Wendy and Ed, your eyes, you can feel, you can like sense light through your eyelids, and you open your eyes and find yourselves laid on the cold steel operating table in this filthy, decaying operating theatre. Wendy, you realize this must be part of the abandoned hospital?
I'm gonna look towards the window where I smeared the window to look out into the blizzard. Is that smear there?
There's no windows. There's a door. You can see a door that leads out the operating theatre, but there's no windows.
Okay. Obviously, try and move, but we can't.
You can't. No. One of these nurses walks into view, and she injects you with some clear solution from a hypodermic, and as you feel the fluid course through your veins, you find you are wide awake, suddenly wide awake, though you cannot move.
It's the Turpentine. Anyway. Right, okay. Can we speak or anything like that?
You can mutter, perhaps.
I'm just kind of muttering, please, don't do this.
Right,
Get
the door.
Dr. Abilene.
So then the door to the operating theatre opens, and in walks the surgeon with the bird-beaked plague doctor mask.
No. I want Dr. Everly. Where's Dr. Everly?
You know that's going to be Dr. Hatherley in his true form, right? That's like him.
This is final form.
Yeah.
Nurse, if you could prepare the instrument, please.
Nice.
Place their hands upon the plinth. We won't require any sedation for this procedure.
Stop, you bastard! Stop!
But good luck, Wendy. You might get something extra. You might get something taken off. We'll just have to see.
So, the nurses take
Heads on,
the
yes.
left. Take the left. The nurses take the left hand of Ed and Wendy, and they place it on a small raised platform at the side of the operating table.
Oh, they're gonna do what they did. They're gonna do what they did to Beth and take one of our ligaments.
And then the doctor approaches, and he takes a scalpel from one of the nurses, and he begins to cut open the flesh of one finger of one of Ed's fingers on his left hand.
Can I mutter to him? The flesh is the key. Open the door, and see if he responds to like any of that.
Mm. You hear a slight chuckle, and he says, "And you shall be the instruments of my salvation." And he slices all the way down your index finger, cutting deep and exposing the bone. And then he starts to remove the finger bones one by one with surprising skill and dexterity. And as he removes each one, the nurses passes him a shaped plastic replica, which he replaces inside your finger till he replace the bones with like these plastic replica finger bones. And with the last one in place, he carefully sews the finger and the ligaments and the skin back together till it's just this fine needlework, this fine line of scar, of like cuts and thread, before turning to Wendy, slicing open. And as you scream, one of the nurses steps forward and injects some fluid into your neck, and your vocal cords are paralyzed.
My eyes are obviously bulging wide, and I'm jittering on the fucking table as my fingers cut open and every bone's removed.
Now you might get my extra fingers, because usually they take from one person and give to another. You might have like ginormous, big, like, hands.
So the surgeon makes an incision, slicing down the same finger, and again removes each of the bones from your finger before replacing them with the ones taken from Ed's hand.
Oh, me and Roberta are going to be teaming up on you guys, stealing our body parts.
I understand.
The eye
On
in the
occasion,
hand,
he
the eye
takes
in
one of the
hand.
finger bones and and shaves some of the bone off slightly to make it fit.
The eye and the hand.
Adding like what looks like some greyish pink putty to fill any gaps. And then once the 3 finger bones have been replaced, he again sews up the wound, and then takes this huge hypodermic stainless steel hypodermic needle and injects this clear, almost silvery, almost like a silvery tint to it, this clear liquid into the palm, deep into the palm of the hand, and you feel this intense burning sensation spread through the palm of your hand and up each of your fingers, and then rush up your forearm. But it quickly fades. Then the doctor reaches over and takes hold of your paralyzed hand, of Wendy's paralyzed left hand, and he does so. He does it with so much care, really far more carefully than when he was actually performing the surgery. You almost think you detect some fear. His motions are so cautious, so precise, it's almost fearful. And then he begins to manipulate the fingers in your hand, in Wendy's hand, clenching them into a fist. And as he does so, suddenly the lights throughout the hospital begin to flicker. The walls quake and dust falls from cracks that snake across the ceiling. Hearts on life support throughout the hospital skip a beat, and the earth trembles. And we'll leave it there.
Nice.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice ending. Wow. Earth trembling and shit.
Yeah.
We know with Phil's favourite, some of us are like getting body parts missing, and some of us are getting given body parts.
Oh, we'll discuss that after I sign off.
It's cool. I'm gonna next game. I'm gonna be shooting my fingers at people like Roberta does with her eye. I'll just be like,
Right, I'll sign us off on YouTube and then we'll chat. So, viewers, we'll be back in 2 weeks for part 4. This was Invasive Procedures. Part 3, I'm RxOliver, and these are my friends. Good night.